afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The game this Saturday at noon up in Ann Arbor. Number 1 Ohio State versus that team up north. What everyone wants to know is if Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate are going to play. Here's Ryan Day on Buckeye Roundtable last night talking about that.
They are. They're going to continue to get some rest tonight. Had a good day of rehab, and so we'll wake up in the morning and see how they're doing. But nobody wants to play more than those two guys.
Pre-game coverage on the Fan Saturday gets underway at 6:30 in the morning. Rothman and Ice will have former Buckeye Matt Finkes on it, too, this afternoon to talk about this week. 5-0 Ohio State basketball team back in action tonight, hosting Mount St. Mary's at 6:30 over at The Shot. Fan warm-up show gets underway at 5:30. This one's sponsored by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling, together to serve you better. Schedule today at thewaterworks.com.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome aboard Rothman and Ice. No tap dancing today. It's Michigan week. We'll take you right to it.
This is a live feed of Ryan Day's weekly press conference, sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
We have to focus on, and it's easy to start to get distracted. At the end of the day, like the more prepared you are, then the more confident you go into games, and that's something that we focused all season on, and prepared each week the same way, and focused on the things that we have to make sure we master in order to win this game. So. It's important to go in with confidence, and a big part of that is how you prepare. It's like when you go into a test and you know what the answers are, you come in and you walk in like and that's just the way it is in any game, and it includes this one.
I know there's obviously a lot of discussion around the injury stuff, but one of the guys who's been in and out of the lineup with over the last month is Lorenzo Styles Jr., and he left the game on Saturday with injury. What does it mean when he's out there for you guys defensively? How confident are you that Bryce West, if needed, can provide the same kind of impact? Yeah,
well, Lorenzo is somebody who has played a lot of football now, and I think when he made the transition from wide receiver to defense, started at corner and then moved into nickel. He's a guy who is a student of the game, works hard, has a great mindset, lives a life of discipline. And you're seeing him play his best football now. And when he's out there, he makes an impact on our defense, communicates well, covers well, can tackle. And so, we've worked hard to build depth at all positions. And, that's not the first time that, we've had to go and finish a game without Lorenzo. So if that were to come up again, we're confident that when we put the guys in the game, we have the right personnel to get the job done.
Right. Maybe the timing doesn't make sense right now, but if Chip wanted to come back, or if you had an opportunity to get him in the building to help, how would that work? And is that even a remote possibility if you're not even thinking about it right now? So,
yeah, I would say not thinking about that right now. It's just too much going on. I do think right now, we have great chemistry, but we got to be on our game as a coaching staff this week. We got to be clean. We got to be great with our meetings. We got to be great on the field, and allow the guys to play really, really fast. So, all of that has been working up to this moment here. So, that's not something I thought about. And right now, we're gonna stick with what we got.
Follow up real quick. Do you have an update on Lorenzo? Do you expect him to play on Sunday?
He's going to practice today, but I don't have an update yet.
And last year, you've been asked a lot about the meeting that happened after the game and before the playoff. That obviously fueled the run that you guys had in the postseason, but how much have those lessons stuck with you throughout this year? And, is that something you think about as you go into the game, some of the stuff that was said after the game last year?
Well, every season is different, and every game is different. And, you use, your past experiences to, do everything you can to put your team in a position to be successful. That's really what it comes down to. And so every year you learn, you grow. This is a different team. This is a different opponent. In terms of their personnel, and so we're going to do everything we can to win this game and focus on that, because what's coming tomorrow or what's coming on Saturday doesn't matter. What matters is right now, like having a great Tuesday, but what's happened in the past doesn't matter either. it doesn't. You can learn from it, but like, let's just have a great Tuesday and prepare the best we can to go win this game on Saturday. And that's where the focus has to be. We can't let anything else distract us.
Ryan, when you talk about trying to keep the same routine and the mindset the same, I mean, it's still Michigan, obviously, and there's the higher emotions for these guys. What's the message like for the players when, on one hand, you want to keep things normal, but you also probably want to lean into that emotion for them, or maybe you don't want them to?
No, I mean, you have to play with emotion, but you can't let it play with you, and you have to learn to use it as nitrous, not as a primary fuel source. And I think that's where, you know, our guys have to continue to just focus on the process of how they prepare for games. And you know, they're going to have enough emotion when they get into the game. We don't need to incite any more of that during the week. They know how important this is. They know that this is our #1 goal every year to win this game. So that'll be our focus. And like you said, I mean, you start to get you know, over emotional, then you can start to get distracted and get yourself out of whack and not do your job. So let's just focus on each individual guy, making sure that at the end of the day, they've graded out a champion and that their positions have graded out a champion.
Coach Scott, they're banged up a little bit too with some things. What do you see when you see Michigan?
Well, talent all over the field. It starts on offense with the quarterback. He's a dangerous player. The running back, Marshall, is a very good player as well. Runs downhill. He's physical. Offensive line and tight ends are good. Marsh and Colley are very good as well. So talent. On defense, same thing. You know, you see, you know, Moore and Barham off the edge. You know, these guys are two of the best pass rushers in the country. You know, and certainly, you know, in the back end, you know, they've created a lot of turnovers. So special teams is very good. I mean, again, what you'd expect in this type of a team. You know, talent in all three phases, well coached, and so yeah, you know, we got to make sure that we're preparing at a high level this week and be at our best.
Two first-year starting quarterbacks will face off in this game. What are the priorities for Julian?
To continue to do what he's done and you know, lead the team to a victory. That's it at the end of the day. And what does that look like? You know, it depends on how the game plays out. But he's got to do his job and make great decisions, and ultimately, you know, be the guy that leads the team to victory. And that's the #1 goal. The rest of it, you know, is gravy. So, you know, he's got to do as good a job as anybody in the building this week. I'll get out in front of it. He's got to communicate, you know, handle the environment and what comes with it. You know, he's shown composure this year, but again, now he's got to be at his best.
Yeah, Ryan, of all the ways you could describe this week, is it fun to be the head coach in Ohio State this week?
Like I say, fun is kicking ass, and that's what we want to do on Saturday. So we're preparing to do that, and that's it. Like, there's nothing funny about this at all. But the fun part is winning. So we'll save the fun for being in the locker room and celebrating after the game. But you know, the preparation is like, that's what you love. You love the competitive part of this and everything that comes with it. And our guys came in Sunday, you know, came in here yesterday, you know, got work on their own, and even guys in the building today. I mean, they got a good bounce in their step, and they look forward to this week.
Second row, Steve. Just a little bit more, Julian. Obviously, you were always going to start into your season with two pretty big matchups, and there was a way you guys approached things with Julian when you said that maybe in hindsight you could have given him more, but you did that with a purpose. It's 12 games later, and your quarterbacks haven't necessarily been at their best in this game. What do you guys do with him? What does he do? Are you confident that you're going to get the best out of your quarterback in a game like this?
Just win. Like, that's it. You know, just lead the team to victory, whatever that looks like, and whoever that is, and that's the #1 goal. So these guys are going to prepare all week, and we're going to put together a great game plan for them to be successful, and that's it. And they got to go put it on the field, and but it's not just the quarterback; it's everybody involved. You know, and that's what, you know, we all need to understand. I think, you know, sometimes we look back, you know, we want to point the finger at one thing or another, but it's everybody, and that's why, you know, when we play matchup games like this, it can come down to one play. So everybody in the entire building has got to be on point this week, and that's special teams, and that's on offense and defense and everybody involved with it. So certainly the quarterback gets a lot of the attention, but we need everybody.
Wide receivers outside of Jeremiah and Parnell, and seeing that you guys have gotten the production that you would want out of those guys, do you feel like there's anything that maybe kind of held those other wide receivers back?
Well, I mean, I think they're getting more opportunity in games, and when they do, you're seeing some improvement there, and so this is great for them, and this is the challenge. This time of year, last year it was with the offensive line, and this year now it's with wide receivers. So this is where you get tested. This is what coaching's all about, making sure that guys are stepping up to do their job when it matters the most. And so, again, great opportunity for them now that they've played some games here. They played some conference games. They got to continue to grow and step up this week.
To clarify, you said with Jeremiah and Carnell, they're working hard and they can. Do you expect they'll be able to practice, or what's your expectation for them going through this week? And how much do you need to see them?
I think that's probably something for the medical staff to figure. And when they give us the thumbs up, we'll go. But they'll be getting physical reps and mental reps all week in preparation. These guys have played a lot of football, so in the end, we'll look to the medical staff to give us the thumbs up or not. But they're going to do everything they can to get on that field.
Ryan, I think Will Kaczmarek's had like 19 snaps or something like that the last 2 weeks. One, is he okay? And then two, what have you made of sort of like the evolution of your multi-tight end packages? You talk sort of mid-season about figuring out what guys do best and what they don't do best. Where do you think you are with that?
Yeah, no, Will's doing great, and he's excited about this week. I think we built some depth there, which is what we kind of wanted to do here the last couple of weeks, give these guys a chance. And it's given us, some more versatility in what we do, and that's important. I think it's important now more than ever when you're dealing with different personnel groupings and what these guys can do. And when you look at them, their versatility is critical. And so, I think when you look at them, they all can do things well. I guess there's some things that each guy does a little bit better than other, but there's not really anything that like we take them off the field for or anything like that. So, Keenan's done a nice job of building, camaraderie in that room and production.
Ryan, obviously we understand your focus on routine this week. Is there anything that would be said or a little video clip shown or something that would be different this week, or is it really?
I would say so.
Okay. Yeah. Because there's a difference of like the preparation, the routine, and then like the other stuff that maybe slips in.
Yeah. No, I mean certainly you have to know your opponent. You got to know what comes with it. But we're also not going to overdo it. So there'll be a lot of things shown this week. So and we'll just the motivation's already there. And again, we need to make sure we stay focused.
Okay. And then there's been a lot of the way your defense has played this year. What does a great defense mean in a game like this in late November, in a tough game that's the most physical game of the year? How prepared do you think your defense is for this game?
Well, I think, when you watch the way we played this season, it's, again, been in preparation for this time of year and in this game. And so, you go off of what you've seen, and it's important that we put a good plan together, that these guys can play fast on the field and understand situational football, try to take away what they do best. And just play great defense. And in a game like this, field position becomes critical. Everything becomes critical. So, I know that these guys are already in here working really hard on that game plan, and we need to have a great Tuesday practice. But it gives everybody confidence, when you have a defense that's playing well.
Yeah, Ryan, I think this is your 7th one of these, 6th as head coach. What's the biggest challenge about this rivalry? As a coach, and then personally?
I just think it's probably, just making sure that, you're keeping everybody locked in and focused on doing their job. I know, boy, that sounds really basic and bizarre, but there's obviously a lot that comes with this. This game means a lot to a lot of people. Nobody more than the people in this building, but I think that's where, you have to make sure that you're compartmentalizing all that and doing what you need to do to make sure you're ready to go play in the game and putting your guys in a situation to be successful. And then just getting rid of all the distractions and getting with your guys and getting ready to go play a game. And that's really it. I think, the rest of it is what you do all season long. I don't think you all of a sudden just get yourself up and ready to play in this game. It's a preparation week after week after week after week to be at our best for this one right here. And so here we go. All the foundation's been set. It's time to go put it to work.
And one more. Back in the day, Woody and Bo, thought spies were in the building. It was crazy. How much does the paranoia ramp up? How paranoid do you guys get that something's happening?
I mean, you know, I guess this week what you try to do is you just try to bring everybody a little bit closer, a little bit tighter. You know, it's just kind of what happens when you're playing this week. And we'll do the same thing, you know, when we head up there. You know, it's kind of the way it is, I guess, maybe because Thanksgiving week and everything like that, we all just get a little bit closer and batten down all the hatches.
Brian, from 2019, when you did this for the first time as a head coach to now, what lessons have you learned, maybe on the field, maybe off the field, preparation? Obviously, you're doing things differently this week. Like, what has changed from that first time being the head coach in this game to how you do it?
Yeah, I think when you know, each year is probably a different story when you start it from beginning to end, and you know what transpired during that game, and then you know, I think for me, it's just continually stepping back and looking, all right, so how did we get ourselves to that point during the season, and then how did we perform during the game? And clearly the last 4 years, it hasn't been good enough. We've lost the game. So you have to be critical and figure out, okay, what needs to be better? So, you know, there's certain things schematically, there's certain things during the season that you feel like you have to prepare for to be ready and have things ready to go for this game. And then there's also just a mindset going into the game that you have to make sure you're ready for.
I know you can't look ahead to the game during the season, but how much do you look forward to this week?
Yeah, well, I think that goes back to what we talked about, the whole idea of chopping wood and carrying water, and you know, knowing that you just can't like hustle to, you know, the Saturday after Thanksgiving. You know, you got to play through the year, and there's a lot that goes with it. It's a building process and a foundation, and you know, we're finally here. So this is the best part of it. You know, we've been waiting a long time to get back to this week.
Brandon, you said last week that ever since the Michigan game and probably the meeting and everything that happened afterward, you have a different look in your eye. How do you think that game, that loss, how you handled it, changed you, affected you as a coach, anything?
I don't know. You know, you know, we're all a sum of our experiences, and you learn from things and you grow from things, and you just try to do everything you can, again, to put your guys in a situation to be successful, and that's it. And we're going to rely on our experiences going into this week. You know, I can't really say. We all grow. We do things well. We you know, we have our failures, but you got to grow from them. And that's it. And so, you know, this team right here is a different team. They have a great look in their eye. I think that's the most important thing here. And so that's the focus. You know, and again, you know, what has happened in the past really has nothing to do with what's going on right now. And you know, what goes on today is the most important thing. And I know it sounds like a cliche again, and to say it over and over again, but that has to be it. And then we have to go do it in the game, and that's it. Like, you know, we have to field kicks. You know, we have to, you know, make our kicks. We have to take care of the football. You know, all the things that we work on, because if we don't, we put ourselves at risk. And so that's it. Everyone's got to do their job and making sure we're prepared to go.
Right, whether it was all the way back with Beanie in 2006 or Chris in 2018 and Garrett in 2019, it seems like freshmen can make a huge impact in this game. What makes you ready to trust a freshman in this game? And do you think that this is a good opportunity for Bo to make an impact in this game?
Oh yeah, we need Bo to play well. We need him to be at our best, at his best, like everybody else. And you just go for what you've seen all year. And we all know that, you know, what this game means, but we also have to make sure they understand it's football. And so you have to trust what you've done leading up to this point. That's why we work so hard in preparation and you know, what he's done up to this point in his growth. So, and these are the types of game where, you know, legends are born. And so, you know, these guys understand that. And you know, I think about Chris Olave as a freshman, you know, that year where he blocked the punt and had 2 touchdowns in that game. Like that, his career just took off from there. Garrett Wilson had a big game that year. Like you said, guys in this game have used this as an opportunity to springboard their career. So, great opportunity for those guys.
Brian, Josh didn't play on Saturday, but he was on his task report. I guess what's his task going in this game between him and Gabe? Who do you anticipate being in that rotation?
Yeah, we'll see how practice goes this week and see how he looks on the practice field, and then make a decision from there.
If you're healthy, if you'd be the second guy.
I think it just depends on how healthy he is, yeah.
We
so often look at the past in this rivalry, the last 2 years, you talk about the 4 straight losses, but this team, you talk about writing their own story, they really haven't played. There's a lot of young guys going out there playing this rivalry for the first time. Can that be helpful that this is their first opportunity for so many guys?
I think it's a good mix of guys that, were here last year and some guys who were fresh to the party. So it's a different group. It's a different dynamic. They all know how important it is. We have a great mix, and our whole foundation is built off of guys from Ohio. We can't just recruit Ohio guys. There's just too many great, talented players throughout the country, but our foundation is from Ohio, and those guys grew up seeing the rivalry, knowing the rivalry, and then obviously when we recruit everybody into the program, whether it's a player or a coach, they understand what this rivalry means. So they all know, they get it, but for some of these guys, it'll be their first time out there, and then the older guys can, kind of show them the way in terms of, what it means for preparation and all that. And but I think, when you look at some of these guys and what their perspective was of kind of how last season went, the good, the bad, the ugly, and what came with it, there's a lot to learn from there, and I think these guys will be prepared.
Last question.
Me? Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you. Thanks, Mike. By the way, should we, this just throwaway question, should we get our injury updates from the Caleb Downs podcast?
I guess.
Just making sure. How confident are you, you talked about this a minute ago, but with Julian, that like Jim Tressel was talking on my show last week about, comes a time when a quarterback's got to make a play, off script, etc., do something special like Troy Smith did off the field. How confident are you in what you've seen of him just being able to, at times, wing it and get it done?
Well, I think that's the art of being a quarterback. If you just start winging it, then you got to put yourself at risk just because you're winging it. Yeah, it comes naturally. You have to make great decisions. And when it's time to compete, you got to compete. But that's understanding time, situation, score, and everything that comes with it. So Julian is going to do a great job preparing this week. He has all the way up to this point, and he's going to work as hard as anybody in the building to make sure he's ready.
But you've seen him emerge in that area, right, over the last several games of being able to take a broken play and make something?
That's right. Yeah, and that's a sign of a good quarterback, when it's the way we drew it up, make the routine plays routinely, and when it's not the way we drew it up, you got to make the coaches right, and Julian's done a good job with that. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Ryan.
You've been listening to the Ryan Day Press Conference on The Fan.
Sponsored by The Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact The Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All righty. Up-tempo presser today. It's not that he didn't really go into anything. It just they were fairly concise answers. I didn't feel like he was in a hurry, but I felt like he wasn't going to do a deep dive into his thoughts last year, and God bless them, they tried. They tried, because I think the direct question that wasn't asked, which would have been, all the narrative about last year was that you coached timid because you didn't want to make a mistake. Do you feel that that guy is gone? Like, that's the question. It's not that, and he answered it in a decent way when they went roundabout, because Bill Rabinowitz, who wrote the book, we had him in studio, Buckeye Brotherhood, about the amazing thing that happened last year was that meeting after the game. Those players were on his you-know-what after that game. That they felt almost, not his words, not Ryan's, my word, betrayed. That they were betrayed by their staff, that they coach scared in that game, and that they had to get their pound of flesh in order to reset with their same big goal, Matty, which was winning it all. And they did. And he was a big part of that, Ryan was, and the staff. And maybe what happens when you get into a big argument with somebody, there's two things that happen. The friendship is over, or you're stronger for it. And we've all been there. Whether you've had something with a friend and you don't talk to that person anymore because it just wasn't important enough, or that created a foundation to build again, to rebuild. It's like knocking down a house and doing a rebuild. And if the foundation is strong, you can do it. And it was last year. And they danced around it today, and they tried. Like when Bill asked him, how different are you with everything that happened last year? And you heard his answer. I don't know. Because I don't think he wants to go into this game with a predetermined script. That's not who he is.
Yeah.
He's situational, and he's going to coach it that way. I think there'll be times where we'll see his aggressiveness because I think you have to be. I think he will have to be. I think he'll either be convinced by his guys or he'll convince them, one or the other. And so I love that they tried, and there was some confidence in his voice, which there should be. The line of the day, as you heard it, and I heard it, and everybody heard it, was when Dave Holmes asked him about, is this a fun week for you?
Mm-hmm.
And he said, fun is kicking ass.
Mm-hmm.
And that was as strong and big as you can come with anything.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed this press conference as I've enjoyed all of them. But I think today was about getting through it without looking like you were trying to just get through it.
Yeah, I agree. The demeanor to me seemed like he was calm, cool, and collected. And I think we heard him again talk about the look in the eyes of his players right now. And he likes what he's seeing from those guys. And so all of that stuff is fun to talk about right now. But Saturday just comes down to execution, as we all know. And last year's team, while we can focus on, yes, the coaching staff probably was a little tight with the offensive play calling and all those things, some of the players didn't do their part either. And he talked about this being a matchup game and how these games can come down to one or two plays. In last year's game, you lose by 3 points, and you left some meat on the bone with a couple missed field goals in that game. You lost by 3. You had an interception in the game to where Michigan gets the ball at your 2-yard line, and then Mulling scores 2 plays after that. And so those are the type of things that I cannot wait to see, because that's what this game is about. Right, we can talk all we want about the numbers and this and that, and we will, because it's what you're supposed to do when you have a big-time matchup like this. But the finite details of these games is usually what brings it home. And so that's what I'm looking forward to seeing this week. We can talk about the mental stuff and all that. We won't know until they kick the ball off. We really won't. And a lot of the focus is going to be on Julian, how he's going to handle this moment. And that, no doubt, is going to be fun to see, because the talent is there with the arm. There's no debating that. But there is a level up with how you have to handle your emotions in this game, and especially as a leader. And so he talked about Bo Jackson. And a guy like Bo Jackson, any running back, especially on the road, can help out any quarterback, and especially a young quarterback. And so I don't think they need to try to go blow for blow with them with the whole run game stuff. You have absolute Ferraris on the outside, as we all know, that can take the top off of defense and do a whole bunch of other things underneath, and we'll see if they play. But I do think the balance will be more even split this year for Ohio State's offense than it was last year. And I think that's the lesson that he learned. Well, yes, he's going to take what the defense is going to give him, but I just think they're not going to try to force themselves into a situation to where they're trying to prove that we're the tougher team. Because remember last year, that was a word he used a ton, was toughness, toughness, toughness. Haven't heard that as much this year. And that, to me, is a sign that he's not as caught up in that narrative as he was last year, because it was out there for everybody to hear time and time again, was the word toughness. And this year, we haven't heard it as much. Yeah. And I think that's a good thing, because they're going to be tough in the game. But when you're trying to psych yourself up to do it, I think that can get things out of whack, and I think that's where they went into the game last year and found themselves in an odd spot, because they were trying to prove that they were the tougher team.
So I think he went a little bit in that idea of that I don't need to manufacture emotion for this game.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of coaches can go either way. I think he's more fiery than Tress was.
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't know. He was probably more fiery than Coop was.
Not as much as Urban.
And probably right in that Urban mode at times.
Yeah.
But when he was asked today about, do you keep the mindset the same, he had that great quote that almost was like this stock 7-iron that he always knows how to you have to play with emotion, not let it play with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was there. Like it's just an instinctual response. And then he went full like Need for Speed Grand Theft Auto about, and hit the nitrous and, don't let that, turbo boost be your primary source of fuel. Yep. Like I could sense that he had these ready, and they tried. They tried to find out in their best way, the collective media today, whether Ryan Day will swing for the fences. And I think what he wanted to say, which he didn't exactly, is, you really think I need to? Like, You got me hiring Chip Kelly now. You really think I need him? Did you hear him say, I think our coaching staff's chemistry is really good. We're limiting distractions. I told you last week, and I know you brought it up, which is great. You bring him in, you know what it says? It says you need him. And I don't think he's in that mindset that they want to change a whole lot or add anything. This is very Herb Brooks. We're a family. Like, send him home. We don't need him. It was a great presser. The other thing at the end was, when Timmy asked him about Jeremiah Smith, like, you're telling us you're telling us your two guys are working really hard to get on the field. We got one guy last night on a podcast saying he's good to go.
Which I guess isn't much of a surprise, just based off the vibe around Jeremiah last week, that some people that we talked to thought that, hey, if one of the guys was going to go last week against Rutgers, it would have been Jeremiah. And so another thing that I've been thinking about a lot is that the second half of these games, over this 4-game winning streak for Michigan, that's where they really kind of hit the pedal to the metal on Ohio State. When you go back to 2021, Ohio State got outscored 28-14. In 22, 28-3. In the 23 game, it was 16-14. And last year, it was 33-0. And so over the last 4 years, Michigan's come out of the locker room and been a better team. So it's been 75-31 in the second halves of these games over the last 4 seasons. And so going into the locker room and coming out of the locker room in games that sometimes are tight when we get into these rivalry games and all of those things, that's where some of the edge has gone towards Michigan's favor, is that they've recalibrated in the second half and come out to be the better team. And so that's what also and it may not even be the case, but we've seen Ohio State this year be a really good second half team, right? Where they've gone into the locker room, whether it's on offense and defense, and come out with a better product. And so that could be another thing that shows itself in this game, is that whoever is the second half team, that usually has been the winner over the last 4 years. There's other reasons baked into these results I get, but that jumped out to me when I was going back last night and looking at some things, is that Michigan AR has really been cooking in the second half over the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's a good point. The other thing is, and I think this is where people want him not to get into his head too much, is that the last couple of years, the leading rusher in this game has been wearing maize and blue, not scarlet and gray. No, I don't think Buckeye fans truly care about that, because we saw what happened last year, in that they try to do it too much and not air it out. But when you go back to Edwards and Corum and Mullings, like, what's stuck in Buckeye fans' mind, and they're trying to get rid of it, is that this game is always where it is, late November. The weather is always somewhat not ideal. It was maybe okay at times. The other couple years ago when they should have won here, it was 60 degrees on Thanksgiving, so you can't point to that. But for the most time, you're right. This rivalry has been built on toughness. Those words have been thrown around, and they're real because they have been real. Think about the losses, and think about the big losses, and the stuff that's happened in those games. It's technically about a missed tackle, a run that's gone too far. But I go back to the fact that whether it's Hassan Haskins or Edwards, or you go all the way back to Biaka Batuka, when Michigan wins this game, they usually have the leading rusher. I've been saying for a year that he was caught up in that, not because he wanted to prove a point. These people that are saying that it was Ryan Day's ego that got him into trouble. No, it wasn't his ego. It was his belief that he had to have it to win the game. And now I sense something in him, that it doesn't have to go the way people say it always goes. What needs to happen is we need to win. Like he was asked about Julian saying today, young quarterback taking him north of the border.
Or north of the wall. We like Game of Thrones. Let's go north of the wall.
And the fact that he's, what do you need him to be? What do you need Julian to be? You heard his answer.
Stock answer.
Lead us to victory.
Just win.
He didn't have any specifics other than make some great decisions. That's pretty general.
Make the routine play routinely.
And he went full Thanksgiving. The rest is gravy. Like, honestly, he's a different guy, I think. I'm hoping, because he was the last guy standing last year. I think he's able to meet this Michigan game differently. If he wouldn't have won the Natty last year, I think this would feel a little different. to all of us.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean it doesn't have the same effect. It's not an elimination game. It's not.
Right.
It doesn't mean in their minds that there'll be a hollow feeling for a lot of these guys for the rest of their lives if they don't win it. But I don't think that's the message he's sending. He's not going full, like, I don't know, Varsity Blues or whatever other movie you want to mention, like, you lose this game, you're going to regret it for the rest of your lives. That's coaching from 50 years ago. I don't think that's what he needs. All the M's are crossed already.
Yeah.
I was watching the live broadcast. The M's, even on the OhioStateBuckeyes.com, the last M's crossed out. And so he looked good today. He's wearing a black hoodie. Ryan was. He got the Buckeye helmet on the chest. Like, he's ready for battle.
Ready to go,
he
man.
kind of felt like today's about today.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was a really good presser. Yeah. They tried to get some specifics on whether he's a different guy or whether we can expect a different coach. And I love the fact that he's saying the past has no effect, because every Buckeye fan I've talked to in the last few days, they've asked me, like, who do you think is going to win the game? And I'll say, well, I think Ohio State should win the game. And you know what their answer is always back to me? Well, that's what we've been saying for the last 4 years. That is the response I get. And I said, all right, let's take it a level further than that. Is it this trend that you're afraid of? Or are you afraid of this team? Because if you're afraid of the trend, that means you're afraid of one thing. That means you think this Ohio State program is now weak in the mind, that Michigan is in their head. Because there's no way that you can just say that you think Michigan's a better team. You can't say that. Because when I've talked to people, I say, all right, where are they better?
Yeah.
Because if you can tell me somewhere where you know they're better, then I'll have a conversation with you. Because if not, then I know where it's going. It's that you don't want to go all in because you're protecting yourself against the trend, which could be real for a lot of people. I get it. It's been 4 years. Some of it's stallion years. Some of it's not. And I feel like that Ryan Day is pushing back against it. He's saying the past has no effect on this team. This team's not last year's team. Their team isn't last year's team. Like, he's saying all the right things. And they were asking him, like, you know, what the message is. And basically what he's trying to tell everybody is, my message doesn't change.
It can't.
Field kicks. Make our kicks. Take care of the football.
As a coach,
block, tackle.
When you get to this week, you can't change what you've been doing all year as far as your demeanor, as far as your approach, and maybe doing extra things that are just out of the ordinary for your players, because I think that can send a message to your guys that maybe can rattle certain guys. It's like, wait a minute, why are we doing this? Or why are we making it bigger than what we did against Texas or Washington or whoever it may be? And so I like when coaches stick to what they do and what they've done all year, because I think that can ease a little bit of the nerves that are already going to be there naturally for all of these guys. Clearly, they know what's on the line. These seniors especially. These seniors are going to be so motivated to get this thing done because they've checked the massive box of winning a natty. They haven't won a Big Ten championship game. Obviously, they don't have the gold pants that they want right now. And so that aspect of it, I think that's a good thing from Coach Day, is that our approach and how we do things, it's about what we do. It's about what we do. Yes, we got to lock in on their strengths and weaknesses and all that, but we're good enough to go into any building, anywhere, and put our best on the field and have them to react to what we do. And so hopefully that is the case, because it felt like last year they played their style of game, and that's not where you want to be, because Michigan, to your point about the run game, was relentless with how many times they gave Mullings the ball a year ago. Mullings averaged 3.6 a pop last year in that game. He got the ball over 30 times. That's what they do. Ohio State knows it. We all know it. And so this defense this year has done a good job of rising up and taking away a lot of the strengths for opposing offenses. And so that's what I expect to see. I am going to be shocked if we see this defense go the other way after what we've seen from them this year under Matt Patricia's watch. These guys on every single level of this defense have had to hear all year how great they are, but now they're going to have to hear, are you going to be tough enough to go into battle against a Michigan team that psychologically may have a bit of an advantage on you right now? Because I do think when you get into these type of games and you lose games the way that they've lost games, meaning physically, that can wear on a team in the game, but also I think it can leave a lasting image in your brain of, man, like we're getting into these games and They're just grinding us out. When you lose that way via the run time and time and time again, that can be demoralizing. So I think these guys are going to rise up, especially when you look at the linebacking play that they've got this year from Sonny Styles and Arvell Reese. And I expect these guys to be flying around and making life difficult for a Michigan attack that we know is going to come between the tackles, and they're going to try to have their big dogs win the game and throw Ohio State's guys out of the club. Haven't seen it all year. Don't think we're going to see it on Saturday, but it definitely will be a grind.
It will be said that the team that wins this game usually has the leading rusher. It will. And it's factually correct. It doesn't have to be. And it's just one of those deals when you're playing in a rivalry game and the yards are tougher and the running game becomes paramount. It just has to be a mix.
They didn't need to win the rushing battle to win that game last year.
Not.
We'll let them down with special teams and your quarterback that gave them a gift right at their goal line. That's what these games
not only
are about.
that, but they give Ohio State a gift at the goal line too.
No, but I'm saying there can be things outside of the rushing battle,
of course,
that can bring it home for you.
The one thing that we don't know that Michigan is probably really praying for their fans is they get some early mistake.
Correct.
By Ohio State. Something early that tilts the mental, that keeps the mental where it is.
Get the atmosphere
That's right.
crazier
That's
than it already will be.
Because they're not built to come back. It's just not who they are. Yeah. So it's kind of a similar message. All right, good stuff today. We'll keep filtering some of that in throughout the day. We'll reset. We'll have Tyvis Powell on in the second hour. Austin Ward, Matt Finkes, the great silver bullet from the 90s, will join us at 2 o'clock. Up next, the running back that nobody is claiming, but maybe they should. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward, and Thanksgiving is approaching quick. Still plenty of time to get your Awaken 180 consultation on the calendar to receive your $500 off. It's a thank you from Awaken 180. No, you don't need to start the program right before Turkey Day. Simply have your consultation now and be ready to start the Monday after. 4 weeks before the new year, and with results like mine, you could be down 27 pounds on your way to dropping 50. Fast results, and now with $500 off. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
It's Happy Honda Days and Black Friday savings together at Germain Honda of Dublin. Strike now because through December 1st, get 0% APR up to 60 months on new Hondas. And you're even going to get 90 days until your first payment on both new and used vehicles. Rich has hundreds of vehicles in stock. The selection has never been better. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road just south of 270. In-stock units only, not valid on prior sales. With approved credit, must qualify through primary lender. See dealer for details.
Back for a limited time, the French dip from Firehouse Subs. Piled high with premium roast beef, caramelized onions, and melty provolone cheese on a freshly toasted garlic butter roll. Served with warm, savory au jus for dipping. This premium French dip is only at Firehouse Subs for a limited time. Head to your nearest Firehouse Subs or order ahead and skip the line. And remember, Firehouse Subs catering is perfect to feed the whole crew on game day. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last.
Back in the day, if you wanted to listen to the Fan, you turned on the radio, and that was the end of the story. But now, oh baby, stream us live on the Fan app. TuneIn app, iHeart app, we're everywhere. The Fan, Ohio's streaming destination. It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Let's scratch that fantasy football itch. It's Rothman and Ice's Fool's Paradise.
Sponsored by Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right. The standings in the Fan Fantasy Football League.
All right, all right, all right.
Maddie has jumped to lead dog.
I'm here, baby. I'm in the building.
CB, I took him down this weekend. He was trying to talk some trash after Thursday night. And then, so he's second. He's got me on points. We're tied. So it's you, CB, then me.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3 right now. CB has the most points in the league. I have the second most points.
I think this is now a third fantasy name for CB in one fantasy football season here. Because
well, he said he was going to change it if I beat him.
Now he's just wrist up with the Shador
sure he is.
Profile pic.
Time to shine, big dog.
I asked him earlier. I did ask him. I said, as a Browns fan, are you going to order a Shador jersey anytime soon? And he said, 2 more wins and he'll purchase a jersey. He's got to lead his Brownies to 2 more dubs and he'll get a Shador jersey. But listen, Ayo, we're hanging in there. You know my team's been going through it with the injuries all year. Malik Neighbors, James Conner, Jaden Daniels, who may be back sooner rather than later.
Says if he's healthy, he wants to play, which is very Burrow-esque.
Yes.
Because it's not like Washington has got anything truly to play for.
No, they're probably cooked. And
sitting there. By the way, ironic situations that they're both 3-8, and both their elite quarterbacks want to come back and probably will.
I think it's as simple as they just love the game. Love the game. Being on the sideline is boring. You go through all the, the training and all the rehab and everything. And when you're healthy, I want to go play. This is what I love to do.
Maybe Burrow doesn't want to have that much time not playing a game. If he doesn't play again this year, then it's
I think it could be
all
something
of
to
next
that.
year.
I think it could be something to that. Quickly, while we're talking about the Bengals, again, I think it's in the fantasy world. You bring up Andre Yoshivas again this week.
It's 1 week play.
1 week play. No Higgins. He's dealing with a concussion going into a matchup against the Baltimore Ravens where Burrow and especially Chase have had a lot of success. But with that,
what about Mitchell Tinsley?
I mean, I think I like Gesicki more. So between Andre Yoshivas and Mike Gesicki, I think those are guys that I would watch him. And you saw Gesicki early on in that game, like the impact he can have when he's in space and he can get open. He's an impactful tight end.
Yeah, and you know what my tiebreaker is? Who's getting in the end zone?
For sure.
And I think Tinsley would have a chance to do that if Burrow plays.
So you like Tinsley over both?
Probably not over Yoshivas, but I think maybe over Gesicki. The running back I mentioned in the tease would be Kareem Hunt.
Oh, that's not the name I thought you were going to bring up. Okay.
He's the running back nobody wants. He's got at least 12 points in each of the past 4 games.
Yeah.
And week 12 was his first over 14 touches. The difference is Pacheco's coming back. So, but I think Hunt's keeping the lead role, though. That's the difference this time around. I don't think Pacheco comes back and instantly becomes the guy.
Pretty good matchup as well against Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned the touches for Kareem Hunt last week. 30 carries for $104 and a rushing tutty there. Caught a few passes as well for 26 yards. And so, yeah, the touches will come down just a little bit. But to me, between Pacheco and Hunt, it feels like they like Hunt down in the red zone. It's kind of that heavier back, kind of that, that juggernaut type of a back down there. And so if you're chasing the touchdown, I'd look at Kareem Hunt for sure. I honestly thought, though, the running back that you were going to bring up was the New Orleans Saints running back in Devin Neal, because Kamara is down with a knee. And the reason why I like Neal this week is because of the matchup. It's a really good matchup against the Miami Dolphins, who have not been a good defense as far as stopping the run.
There's a guy who could steal some carries from him.
Your boy Taysom Hill is always lurking in the weeds.
That's what I'm saying.
He's always lurking in the weeds. But I like Devin Neal this week if you need some running back help. So check him out down there in Nowlands.
Not loving that Rashee Rice is dealing with a hammy right now after that great overtime win over the Colts. We'll keep an eye on that. The guy to look for, and this is all contingent, maybe not all, but some, on Marvin Harrison Jr. coming back, is Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson is looking incredible. Let me give you his stats the last couple weeks. I played him this week, and he did not disappoint. So the last 2 weeks, he has 33 targets, 25 catches.
Well, one of those
185 yards and 118 yards. And guess what? No touchdowns, I don't think. I don't believe so. And yet he's double digits all the way.
Baked into some of those numbers, is Jacoby Brissett's historic day, right?
That's
where
right.
NFL
the 47
record.
completions. But that's all they do. I feel like as long as Harrison is out, this guy's a wide receiver 1.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
With the way they air it out. A fantasy wide receiver 1.
I usually don't care too much about how bad the team is. I like opportunity. I like at-bats in fantasy. And so, yeah, bringing him up, I think, is absolutely a good name.
Just say
to look
what
out
the
for.
blank, Matty.
Yeah, I'm here for that. Also, it feels like Jaden Reed's coming back, AR, for the Green Bay Packers. And whenever he's in there, it just feels like Jordan Love has the most chemistry with him. Hit or miss all year with Matthew Golden, their rookie, Christian Watson, in and out of the lineup. He's what they need to come back, I think, to settle that offense or lock that offense back into place. And so Jaden Reed, they designated his return from that injured reserve. So he's back out there doing some things in practice. And so if you need some wide receiver help, I would look out for Jaden Reed, because I think he can be one of those sneaky pickups late here in the year to help you out and get you ready for the playoffs.
I like when you stashed him. I liked him. I think we've talked about him for a couple weeks. And I'm glad you stashed him. I think that was a smart move. They're really a mixed bag, so if they get him back and Love can flip the switch for Love a little bit, depending on where their schedule is and the weather games they'll need.
Another name I think you should watch out for at running back is Chris Rodriguez Jr. for the Washington Commanders. You look at his targets over the last few weeks; those are inching up higher and higher and higher. 15 carries, 18
leading the backfield,
carries, and so Chris Rodriguez Jr. probably not a household name, but a guy that's getting at bats over there for Washington.
Yeah.
And so I kind of like Chris Rodriguez too as a potential pickup to see how that goes.
Last week was probably the week to grab him because he was on bye, and maybe people. Now it'll be a little tougher to get him, maybe, because it'll probably be a top 3 waiver claim. The other guy I would look out for is maybe Dylan Sampson, if Quinchon is dinged up a little bit. I don't know if he's going to be out, but Sampson is up. And
especially in PPR leagues, right, with his pass-catching ability. We saw that with that screen he took to the crib, so I like that. And since you brought up the Brownies, their opponent in that game that we just watched was the Raiders, and just monitor Ashton Genty's ankle. You know, he got tweaked late in that game there in the fourth quarter. And so Raheem Mostert, just one of the unks in the sport that I've always liked in fantasy, because he just seems like whenever he gets an opportunity, that dude makes something happen. So watch out for Ashton Genty's availability this week. And if he doesn't go, look out for Raheem Mostert.
All right, that is your Fool's Paradise for this week. We've got a good shot. You and I have clinched a playoff spot. We're now going for the buys if we can. And it would be nice if you and I run a collision course in fantasy, because one of us has to bring it home.
It's been too long.
We got two bullets now. Let's get one of them through.
We can't let CB win this thing because we'll never hear the end of it.
No, it was nice that he made it to the final and then had a very heartbreaking ending. That's even better.
I think we should have a trophy presentation on this show at the end of the year.
You didn't just do that.
A trophy
He
presentation.
didn't just do that.
For Colin.
Oh,
There we go. He
Oh,
cleaned it up.
thank you. Okay.
Okay. I
Because
thought
the
you were-
fantasy gods heard what you said.
Yeah.
And they were ready to rain down
We'll give
upon
him,
you
we'll
with
give him a
great
speech.
vengeance. All right.
Or whoever wins, I don't care.
Sharon Moore. Let's get back to the game and the rivalry. Top of the hour after a Fan Sports update. Sharon Moore on his side and whether his team has the mental edge. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
It's finally here. Rivalry Week.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
We're talking about the Buckeyes and meat chicken all damn week. Join us, the Fan.
Shopping this time of year can be stressful, but when you've got a guy, everything gets a little easier. Meet my guy, Bob Capace from Worthington Jewelers.
Hey, common man.
Hitting anyone's car today, Bob?
Not yet.
If you're popping the question this holiday season, you'd be an absolute fool not to see Bob at Worthington Jewelers. The store is crowded all the time. Why? Because they give you the best price and service possible, and then people keep coming back.
I'm your guy.
Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
Your Christmas tree is the centerpiece of all your Christmas activity. Nobody does cut Christmas trees like Oakland Nursery. Big trees, little trees, and everything in between. Oakland Nursery has the largest selection of cut Christmas trees in Central Ohio. 3 to 14-foot freshly cut trees worthy of the Oakland Nursery name and reputation. 3-foot firs start at just $19.99. Bring the whole family to choose your tree this year and really experience the Christmas spirit. For 85 years, Christmas starts at Oakland Nursery.
You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season with a Home for the Holidays raffle. And help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish Kids. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone here for Window Nation. Living in Ohio, you want your home to be comfortable year-round, your family protected, and an investment you can feel great about for years. Now, during Window Nation's end-of-year sale this November, you could save big on windows that do just that. You'll save 50% off all window styles, plus you can get 0% interest financing for 5 years. Window Nation's proven quality windows are so good you'll actually save money on lower utility bills every single month. And they're backed with a lifetime warranty. Window Nation even has an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and over 45,000 five-star customer reviews. And did I mention you could celebrate your newly upgraded home with a chance to get 2 Ohio State game day tickets? Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Window Nation's end-of-year sale is your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles plus 0% financing for 5 years. Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. The sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com today to get started. That's windownation.com.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The game this Saturday at noon up in Ann Arbor. Number 1 Ohio State taking on that team up north. At his weekly press conference just a little bit ago, Ryan Day said that the Buckeyes have been waiting for this one for a long time and that it will be a doctor's decision on whether Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith play, but both are working hard to get back. Pre-game coverage on The Fan Saturday gets underway at 6:30 a.m. The latest college football rankings will be released tonight at 7:30. Check out a special CFP rankings reaction show over on The Fan's YouTube. The 5-0 Ohio State basketball team back in action, hosting Mount St. Mary's tonight at 6:30. The Fan warm-up show with Brandon Beam comes your way at 5:30. Network coverage takes over at 5:45. This one brought to you by Whiskey War from High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank.
Maddie ranked the most dynamic duo of all time, Caesar Salad and Moscow Mule. This is Rothman and Ice.
Hour number 2, Tyvis Powell, 1:30. Get into a little Heisman conversation. Everybody thought it was a 2-horse race, and that has changed.
I love Dr.
As it
Mayweather.
probably should.
Yeah.
Sharon Moore. He was asked, I don't know, about a month ago about how he's going to fix his passing game. He needed to be asked earlier in the season how to fix his run defense because in their losses, he was getting the smackdown. Like, did you see what, like, oh, I remember, because I came in that day or that Monday, and in Party Like a Rothstar, I put the kid from USC, the walk-on in, who had that day against them.
What was the stat line in that game, you remember?
Mr. King, right? I'll tell you what that stat line was in that 31-13 beatdown by you. Listen, if USC's defense can hold them to 13, what should Ohio State's defense do? I know it's different time, different game, but, well, man, King Miller had 18 carries for $158.
Okay. Love hearing that, especially with the way
8.8 per.
Bo Jackson's playing right now, because that's the type of guy that you need. Bo Jackson's, that's like the game-breaking type of running back when games can be tight. Like, those are the guys you love having in a situation like this. So to have a running back at your disposal that, let's say it's, 10-10 or 7-3 or whatever, in the blink of an eye, can get out of there and take it to the house. Those are such critical weapons to have in any game, but especially in a game like this. And so I would not be surprised, AR, that Coach Hartline, Coach Day, the offensive guys go back to that game, lock in on that game field that you're talking about right there and say, okay, some of the things that USC did in that game, are there ways we can attack them in a similar way that's within our offense? Because one team is showing you that you can do it. We shall see if Ohio State can do a similar thing.
Turn on your Heartline. Let's look at that game for a second, because I think that's interesting. They had their big dog, Justice Haynes, and they had Jordan Marshall. Like, both of them were cruising. Cusdahl wasn't even a guy then. Justice Haynes, who, by the way, had a great season, who's had a great season, because early on at Oklahoma, $125 in the loss. At Nebraska, 149. 117 versus Wisconsin. $152 at Michigan State. The USC game, 51 yards. Like, that defense, and the only thing I can come to, and I'll have to go back and look at that game a little bit, is that Bryce Underwood was erratic enough that maybe they felt that they could load up against the running game for Michigan. Because, boy, Andrew Marsh had a great game. The freshman receiver for Michigan, who, by the way, has been big lately. He was big in the Maryland game. And he'll probably be big. He's a 6-foot kid. Good hands. They can move him around.
Yeah.
He had a massive day against USC. 8 for 138. And they lost 31-13. Boy, that is brutal.
Looking at another kind of talent for talent game for Michigan this year was that Oklahoma matchup. And you look at John Mateer, 19 carries for 74 in that one. He did have 2 touchdowns in the game. Oklahoma, though, only 3.5 per. Even with Mateer's stuff baked in to that. And so that's going to be interesting to see as well. Because Michigan, we could talk about the USC game, and it's right to bring that up. They're third in the conference in rushing yards allowed this year at 94. But I like that you brought up a game to where the talent, level raises up for their opponent, and somebody was able to get after them. And so you got the USC game and you have the Oklahoma game.
There are 2 losses.
To where the 2 losses are there to where run games have been effective against them. The numbers weren't sexy in the Oklahoma game, but clearly Oklahoma felt comfortable enough to keep going with that with their quarterback to where they ran the ball 40 times in the game. And so they saw something and said, okay, we think we can carve a path to victory that way, and they did so because they won that one 24-13.
Michigan's lost 2 games this year. In the 2 losses, their 2 toughest games of the year, they've lost them both. In those 2 games, they've only scored 13 points in each game. In both those games. Now, they were both on the road, and they were in the first half of the season with a young quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Bryce Underwood a little bit of leeway, and that over the last 5 weeks, he's evolved a little bit. But the schedule's gotten easier, too. Purdue. I mean, Northwestern was a tough game at Wrigley. Didn't overlook Maryland. Needed him last week. The Washington game, common opponent with Ohio State. Purdue, they were close. I mean, they almost lost to Purdue at home. So this is not a Michigan team. I'm actually surprised, honestly. When Adam came in here and said he was surprised that the spread was that high, I'm almost surprised it wasn't higher.
You brought up...
This is the number 1 team in the country with the best defense in the country, and I'm kind of surprised we're under double digits.
You and I think, are in lockstep when it comes to trying to make Bryce Underwood beat you in this game. Because when Michigan gets rolling with their run game, that's when the confidence starts to flow for them, and that's when they start to wear you down on defense. But this year, if Ohio State can win on 1st and 2nd down on Saturday, that's where you want to be. Because on downs 1 and 2 for Bryce Underwood this year, he's at 64% completion percentage. That dips to 57 on 3rd down. And so if they can find themselves in those 3rd and 5 pluses this weekend, make the true freshman beat you, and then you can allow the Caden Currys and those guys to get downhill and hunt, and then you can play the games in the secondary that we've seen Matt Patricia play all year long. And if you get to play those games as a play caller defensively, that's going to work in your favor, because I just don't know if a true freshman is going to be ready to handle those type of looks consistently and see those looks and see things change post-snap and be able to execute his offensive game plan cleanly enough to do a lot of damage on Saturday afternoon.
Man, I'm doing a little quick math here.
Yep.
In Michigan's 2 big losses in their matchup games against USC and Oklahoma, they were a combined 5 for 23 on 3rd down.
There it is. Yep. It's not where they want to be.
22%. Earlier in the year, I get it. I'm not putting everything in that basket. But this is not the team that should be upsetting Ohio State. And I hear you out there. The echo's coming back like a boomerang. That's what we said the last.
And that's real.
And it is real. That's fine.
It shouldn't even be close last year. Like, that was the vibe.
Some of it was Stallion's effect early in this reversal, and some of it was that Michigan had a lot more experience than they have now on this team.
Yeah.
So there's a difference. Like, Michigan's core is very young. Their offensive line, not very experienced. Ohio State's a little more of a mixed bag of guys that have been around for a natty and that run, and then obviously the young leader and the star receiver. But it's staying at 10 points. That's where it is. Sharon Moore. Let's spin a little of this TLC. What do you have in the Sharon Moore extravaganza?
Apparently the outsiders think that Michigan has the mental edge.
I mean, I just think we're just going to go prepare for the game. I don't know what really outside the building. None of that really matters. What people think, what people say doesn't matter. What matters is how we prepare and how we get ready for this game mentally, and that's it. So I don't know what the mental edge piece. I just know that we're going to just go prepare to go win the game.
Well, what it is that you've beaten them 4 straight years. That's the question. Does that give you a mental edge? And any coach worth his salt will do what Ryan Day did, which is the past means nothing. It's about this year. Mm-hmm. But the outside noise that he was asked about is very real. It's real here in Columbus, and it's real probably there. As that Buckeye fan is still kind of in the back of their mind that, yes, we've had teams that should have beaten them and didn't. And so that's always going to weigh a little bit in the rival. I always feel like, my first year was Coop's first win in 94. And I think they had tied him in 93, and that whole fun with they finally tied him. They didn't lose. and 94 was here. But in all the years, in 30 years or more, I feel like Ohio State has had more talent in like 80% of the games. I also feel that it feels like when Michigan wins, it's always an upset.
Well,
and when Ohio State wins, it's usually because they should. Ohio State has mostly had the upper hand in the tail of the tape. This was a heavyweight fight. The tail of the tape would always lean a little bit scarlet and gray. And so I think this whole mental side of this is interesting to me because it's always been kind of when Michigan wins, it's always an unexpected victory. So that has more shelf life because those are the ones you kind of remember because the disappointments you remember. Maybe sometimes you remember the close ones, the overtime ones, the 2-point conversions, the Brady Hoke, all that. You do remember those. But the ones that really stick with you as a Buckeye fan are the ones that you should have won that you didn't. And
so what you're saying is basically Ohio State should just always win.
Not always, because it's a rivalry game, but the always was working. It was always for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and look, what was it, 18-20? Like, it was always.
Yeah.
And it makes me think, like, ever since, like, the 10-year war and all that, it just felt like ever since Harbaugh guaranteed victory as a quarterback and then you go through the night, like the 90s was the nightmare. 90s was the absolute nightmare. We'll have Matt Finkes on. He's okay with reliving it because if there was a 12-team playoff, he'd probably have a title. But 95, 96, like 93 even, like he was a freshman, I believe. So, but the fact that I always feel, for all my years, I'm only speaking of mine, I always felt like Ohio State goes in as the favorite. The favorite carries pressure, inherent pressure. Michigan has something to play for. I get it. But you can't tell me they're under more pressure than Ohio State.
No, Ohio State.
Even if the game is there.
Ohio State's looking at the potential of going back-to-back.
Yeah.
Like that's what's in line for Ohio State. Now, so I think the mental part of it for me, I'm feeling more of that from the fans than the players. Now, I understand that the players would never admit that there's any type of mental weakness on record, but I think with where the fans were, especially coming out of last year's game, like that just held so much weight. It's the way the game went down. It was the conversations we were all having going into the game. And then it was all the emotional stuff that happened after the game, too, with the whole flag planting thing that has just stuck with people. And so that combination and players that we've talked to and heard from for years that tell us when it comes to this game, throw the numbers out the window. There's just strange things that happen in these games. And so I buy into some of that. But at the end of the day,
it was always strange for them.
As far as for
why do I always feel like the strange stranger things always happens in their favor?
Yeah, and
why is that?
You can get caught in the upside down, and that's a strange place to be. And I think this is where Buckeye fans are right now with this game. They're in the upside down.
Right.
They're hanging out with Vecna, and it's a scary place to be. And I just think that's rivalries that we see in all of sports. That sometimes when individual matchups happen or just certain teams get together, it doesn't go by, hey, just what the numbers are telling us and what we've seen from those teams all year long.
All right. It's not that Ryan Day would want to lean into this because it's not about winning a Heisman. But if Julian has the game Buckeye fans want him to have, could he rescue the Heisman? And it feels like that's where it is now because now he's an underdog in that race, it feels like. We'll examine it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
At High Bank Distillery, they believe every pour should tell a story. Their Whiskey War spirits tell the story of Prohibition in every sip and was awarded the best blended whiskey in America 3 years running. Enjoy High Bank's nationally recognized spirits distilled right here in Ohio. Drink the best. Forget the rest. Learn more at highbankdistillery.com.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin is turning Black Friday into the ultimate two-day car buying celebration. Buy any new Hyundai and spin the wheel to win prizes like AirPods, gift cards, TVs, or even a shot at the cash machine. Friday and Saturday only at Great Lakes Hyundai of Dublin.
Back for a limited time, the French dip from Firehouse Subs. Piled high with premium roast beef, caramelized onions, and melty provolone cheese on a freshly toasted garlic butter roll. Served with warm, savory au jus for dipping. This premium French dip is only at Firehouse Subs for a limited time. Head to your nearest Firehouse Subs or order ahead and skip the line. And remember, Firehouse Subs catering is perfect to feed the whole crew on game day. Limited time at participating Firehouse Subs restaurants while supplies last.
Hey, I'm Steffi. You may know me from your social feed. I go big for the holidays, so I'm going to Famous Footwear because the best gifts are giving famous. My friends and family are going to love all these styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, New Balance, Skechers, and more. With over 800 stores, you're never far from the perfect gift. So make your list and make it famous. Come in today for buy one pair, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Come on, kids, we're going to Grandma's house.
Grandma's house! Grandma's house! What do we do to be safe and ready to go? We buckle up. Buckle up.
Phones down.
Phones down. And when we go, take it slow. And if you drink,
Don't drive. And off we go.
ODOT, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and the Ohio Traffic Safety Office are doing their part to keep roads safe. Do your part to make sure everyone makes it home safe for the holidays.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Oh, this week it's Rivalry Week, or as we like to call it, Beat Michigan Week, or Try Not to Get Pepper Sprayed Week. Rivalry Week sounds better. Let's go with that.
Rivalry Week on the Fan is sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Ryan Day's proven he has what it takes to win a natty, but can he take control of the biggest rivalry in sports? Will Julian Sayin or Jeremiah Smith have a Heisman moment? Will the Fan staff consume 500 wings in a single setting? Let's find out together. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're tracking the rain to continue here through most of your Tuesday with rainfall amounts over 1/4 of an inch here for several locations. High temperatures are into the upper 50s this afternoon. As we head into tonight, we're tracking temperatures to stay into the 50s, but a cold front is on the way here tomorrow, and that's going to knock down our temperatures into the 30s. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Maddie's favorite show is Big Brother. Don't read into it. He's only watching strangers through hidden cameras. You're listening to Rothman and Creepy Stalker Guy.
All right, the Heisman race is back on again. I think there was this feeling that
tonight's going to be a good night.
That How old's that song now?
It's got to be early.
2011?
15
I
years.
was going to say
yeah.
08.
Yeah, that's
somewhere in their window when I was.
Let's see.
I got to feel
I
it.
feel like I want to tell you, I feel like that was before 2011.
09.
Yes, and I'll tell you why. And
Price is Right, I lose.
I wish you would have asked me, because I'll tell you why. Because I was still.
Oh, this means you have it attached to a certain other memory.
Yes, well, music does that, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so I feel like every high school game that I covered when I was at Channel 6 still, which was previous to 2011, I would get into the parking lot in the news van, and that's the song coming out of every high school kid's car. And I just associated with that.
Yeah.
And I knew that it had to be pre-2011.
Where are the Black Eyed Peas? What are they doing? Did they just
counting
cash
their
out?
money, I guess.
I mean, they were killing it in that window of time, so they may be doing that.
All right, speaking of cash out.
Yeah, what do you got?
So a week ago,
Great transition.
It was. He didn't even know it. It was great.
TLC, that's why the man's won Emmys, okay? He's a pro's pro.
You helped me.
Emmys.
Emmys,
Plural.
yeah, exactly. Let's put some respect on his name.
Let's emphasize that S at the end.
So TLC, I was talking to him. We had a great conversation out near the Papa Shot about a week ago. And they said, hey, I'm offered a cash out on the Julian Saying future for Heisman.
Okay.
It's not a lot. It was about 30%. So we'll deal in units here. So 30%. So let's just make round figures on that and just say that the future was $1,000 and they were offering you $300. Okay, or 28%, $280. And I said to him, should I take the profit now and move it to Mendoza?
Fernando.
At that point. And he said, we both agreed, let's wait. Let's wait on the Michigan game, and let's wait on the Big Ten title. Because we all felt at that time, 3 weeks ago, that the Big Ten title game was going to determine the Heisman. I think we just had that feeling.
Don't we still feel that way?
Do we for sure?
Well, here's what Vegas thinks, fellas.
Can I tell you real fast what they've done to saying to me on my cash out? It's gone from 28% to 19%.
Okay.
So they're telling me, A, that whatever he didn't do against Rutgers cost him in Las Vegas, because it's a stat pad game, but he didn't have his two studs. And I think it's also worked in reverse in the narrative for him, which is, oh, well, now that he didn't have them, look at the passing game. I think that hurt him, actually.
Maybe so.
In that game.
Yeah. And so right now at Bet365, Fernando Mendoza, clear favorite at the moment at -120. Behind him, TLC's boy Jeremiah Lovett plus 400. And then Julian Saying, is at plus 450 at the moment. So not over yet, but Fernando, man, he's really got this thing by the you-know-what. And if he can stack up two more good games, because I think they play, Purdue on Friday night. Which should be another really good performance for him, just based off where kind of Purdue's been all season. And then you get that extra data point in the title game. He may just run away with this thing over the next couple of weeks. But I just don't. It's not over yet for Julian. Julian goes out this week with the eyes of the college football world on him in that game, and puts together, I don't know, a 21-24 for 250 and
one of
3.
his games.
Then he's right back in this thing. But Jeremiah Love, with where he's at right now, the numbers are absolutely silly, especially in the game he just had. Eight carries, 171, and 3 touchdowns against Syracuse. Like, his numbers are really eye-popping, and he has those big plays too that you can go to. He's got 5 games this year with at least $135 rushing, 6 games this year with a rush of at least 40 yards in the game. So just a big play specialist who's heating up at the perfect time.
Except he's got one less game. That's going to hurt him. It's going to hurt him because the guys that are playing in their conference championships are going to be up for the Heisman. They're right around him.
Yep.
I think there are a lot of people believe that Jeremiah Love is the best player in college football this year.
You could definitely make that case. Yeah,
and that
for sure.
and that goes with the award. It's not the most talented guy, the best player this year. There's a big difference, because the most talented guy still needs a season of stats. He still needs a floor of stats. Because I say that because Jeremiah Smith is still in this thing. And now he's got a little bit of a injury narrative that if he comes out and balls against Michigan and makes his one-hand catches and boxes out in the end zone and just torches them. Now, could he steal it from his own quarterback? It's very difficult to do that.
Splitting the ticket, man.
I don't think Jeremiah's got much life with the Heisman anymore.
Probably
I don't think
not.
so.
Last week he was 100-1 in some places. He was 60-1 on Bet365. What do you say he is now?
He's at, where is he at?
I can't imagine it's much better than 50-1.
I'm seeing for Jeremiah Smith for the Heisman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
15,000?
Yeah, plus 15,000.
Okay.
Done.
So he's 150 to 1.
Probably a wrap.
All right.
But Letnikoff, maybe still in
Yeah,
play.
and we spent
Maybe.
the first half of the season talking about how Carnell Tate kind of created this image of like, oh, Jeremiah Smith's not alone. Right? Like, we entered this season with Jeremiah Smith way up there. I think he was number one of the non-quarterbacks. And then we spent a lot of time talking this season about how it was almost like Carnell Tate couldn't even possibly create a Heisman candidacy for himself because all he was doing by performing as well as he did in the beginning of the season was taking away from Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah.
And basically, now it's like the Torrey Holt Hall of Fame argument. It's like, well, what are you going to do? Just put all the Rams play all the greatest show on turf? It's like, you can't do that. It's like when they're all great, it's almost like you're kind of taking away a little bit of the individual success and just kind of giving it to a team. But it's also kind of weird because this is a year where by default, all of the Heisman candidates have kind of just been the quarterbacks of the best teams. It was Mendoza and then Sayin, and then it was Ty Simpson before Alabama lost again. Marcel Reed is there. And so
it usually is a quarterback award anyway.
Right.
Yeah.
But it did kind of seem like it was by default a little bit. But now the conversation... Diego Pavia is not going to win it, but he's picking up some momentum, and he's going to get a decent amount of votes, and maybe he'll make it to New York.
He's right behind Julian right now at plus 550. So you're right.
So they're all in the mix.
What is Jeremiah Love? How many yards does he have?
Jeremiah Love in total. Let me find that. He's going to
have to have
1,300.
He's third in the country in rushing yards.
How many games does he have left?
One.
You know what that tells me?
The recency
he's
bias
not
is
winning the
ridiculous.
Heisman.
That's 100%.
He can't win the Heisman because he will not have more yards than Mark Ingram, and he will not nearly have as many yards as Derrick Henry, and it just isn't going to happen.
He would have to be right now the clear-cut rushing leader in the country.
Who does he play?
To follow up
Stanford at 10:30 p.m. Eastern.
So that's where he would have to be. Like, he would have to be number one in the country by a few hundred yards, a couple hundred yards, and then have another monster performance this week to maybe get in the mix. But I'm with you guys on it's probably a little too late for him just because he's not going to have that extra.
It's one of the quarterbacks. And back to my original thought that Julian Sayin can rescue this.
Yep.
Now, I wouldn't hold it. I don't like holding it against a guy if his team didn't win. Like, if he played a great game and his team didn't win,
I'm with you.
Like, come on. He's not playing defense. He's not, there's a difference. It's kind of like the people now when you're splitting hairs in a game, like let's say Indiana plays Ohio State and they're the overwhelming favorites. If one game is drastically different than the other, then maybe you could point to that. However, then you have to ask yourself, did one guy have to go against a better defense, or did one, you got to start looking at the game within the game.
Lucky for both those guys in that Big Ten championship game, the perception will be both defenses are good.
That they're decent, that one won't have a massive advantage. And the other part of this that you and I talked about, TLC, is there's bias inside and there's bias outside.
Recency bias.
And there's people that like the guy. There's people that cover Ohio State that like Julian Sayin. They get to talk to him every week. They're like, hey, if there's a tiebreaker, who am I going to vote for? The guy I get to talk to every week that's a good dude that's had a great season? Or can they separate it? We'll see.
Yeah.
And then for the same reason, there are people probably in California like, this little Indiana team, last time they had a guy that was up for the Heisman was 40 years ago.
Exactly.
Like, they might say,
for sure,
I'm not going to give another one to Ohio State. Like, there may be that bias, so you never know. But I do think it's still coming down to those two. The Jeremiah Love talk is real, but if he can't beat Mark Ingram's numbers, who probably I'd have to go back and look at his. Henry is a 2,000-yard guy.
Yeah.
The Ingram, I don't
Love
think got
splitting
there.
the time with Jadarian Price hurts him, and that's just true. Also, it's not just that Jeremiah Love doesn't play and Ohio State and Indiana do. It's 1 versus 2. Like, this is like the Super Bowl for the season.
The other thing, too, when you look around the corner for Julian next year, he's going to be fighting the same issue because you're going to have two guys that may be in the mix next year with Bo Jackson and Jeremiah Smith. And so the canceling of each other is always going to be an issue. Like, when you look at Indiana, a lot of people look at Fernando Mendoza as the reason why. I don't know if there's a lot of casual college football fans that can name playmakers around Fernando. So he has.
Well, they saw a playmaker at Penn State.
No, but I guess I'm saying, or he has the perception of he doesn't have that Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate household name.
Not only that,
with him.
His best receiver has been out.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, we'll come back in 2 minutes with our friend Tyvis Powell and get back to the game. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions. And yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Hey folks, it's Austin Ward, and Thanksgiving is approaching quick. Still plenty of time to get your Awaken 180 consultation on the calendar to receive your $500 off. It's a thank you from Awaken 180. No, you don't need to start the program right before Turkey Day. Simply have your consultation now and be ready to start the Monday after. 4 weeks before the new year, and with results like mine, you could be down 27 pounds on your way to dropping 50. Fast results, and now with $500 off. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Get your furnace fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
This is Ryan Krieger, and at Krieger Ford, we know life's busy. Let us handle your car care. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or have our technicians come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Breaking Down the Browns with Tyvis Powell.
The bowler from Bedford is with us now on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Finkes hotline. All right, I got a question for you. Kind of a little bit of a conundrum for you. You ready?
Oh, I like a conundrum.
Yeah, a good conundrum. All right, so I put you back in uniform, and I take you back to 2013, 2014. And I'm trying to illustrate maybe what the rivalry meant to you. And I got to take one of them away. I got to take away the natty, or I take away you intercepting the 2-point conversion pass from Devin Gardner in the final seconds. You got to give one of them back.
Well, it depends. Well, if I don't intercept the 2-point conversion, is it a completion and we lose, or does somebody else make the play?
You lose the game. He catches it.
2013. First of all, we didn't go to the natty. We didn't win into no natty in 2013. But I understand the question.
You got to give back the natty or your incredible moment in the rivalry game on the road that saved the game. You have it for a lifetime. You want the Oregon victory, or do you want that play?
I want the Oregon victory.
Why?
Why? Because when you're a kid, right, and you're training in your backyard and you're playing catch, and you go through all of those hard days to grind to get to college, and then you go through those days with Coach Mick in the summer, and you got to deal with class and all those things. The number one reason you do all that is because you want to be the best. You want to come off as saying that I was the best. You want to do something that nobody's ever done before. And winning the national championship, there's only one person that can say that every single year. It marks you as the best team in college football. And a lot of people just don't get that achievement. So I think that one holds a little more weight.
It's a great team answer. So I'm proud of you for that. but I was really angling to see whether the Natty meant more than the rivalry. And I think you told us in those words that the team goals were more important than that individual moment for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody knows that. Listen, I'm a team guy until we lose. When we lose, then I'm a meat guy.
Oh, I love it. T, let's lock in a little bit more on this game on Saturday because, you know, as you know, last year, a lot of the vibe was Ohio State should handle business fairly comfortably, and that obviously did not happen. And here we are again. It's not that I'm not feeling that same energy across the board that I did last year, but there's some confidence there for sure. Where are you at with your confidence level going into Saturday, looking at where these two teams are headed on this collision course?
Buckeyes gonna win 24-10. You can't tell me nothing different. I just don't. I mean, I understand about last year, and I just think that there were some things that happened over the course of that game that allowed that to happen. You know, obviously the Will Howard getting hit and knocked out the game thing kind of messed up things. He was never really the same after that. So I think that played a part into it. But then ultimately, you know, we found out when shout out to Bill Rabinowitz. He did his deep dive in it, and Mitchell Melton called out Ryan Day for the stat about the team that rushes the ball the most always wins the game and all of those things. And he was enamored with that, and it clouded his judgment of what he should do in that game. And I think since that moment, since he's had that meeting with those players and had to be vulnerable, he's been an ultimately different coach, and he's done what he needed to do to win games. And I think with that being said, it doesn't matter who's the toughest team, who's the more physical team. He's just going to do what he needs to do to win the game, because at the end of the day, you can be the toughest, most physical team and lose. So I think that everybody's only going to remember who wins and who loses this game, and he wants to be remembered for the win. And I think that due to the fact that they have such a young team, you know, especially at the quarterback position, I know we do too, but to have a true freshman go out there and have to see that defense and have to have an offensive line try to figure out what's going on post-snap, it's just so much thinking that's involved that it takes to beat the Buckeyes. And it's going to be hard to ask a true freshman to go out there and be able to execute that and see that year one against Matt Patricia's defense.
You know, one thing I've noticed, Tyvis, about Coach Day this year versus last year was last year the word that he used so much, especially going into this game, was toughness. This year, it felt like he feels like he's backing off that just a little bit. And the constant message has been from Texas down to this week, just win. Just win. So I don't think he's caught up in that as much as he was a year ago, because he was really digging in on, hey, we got to be the tougher team last year. And this year, I think he's learned from that lesson.
Yeah, I mean, last year what they did was the mental part got to him. It wasn't, he had the Johns and the Joes, and the X's and O's would have been fine, but the mental aspect of the game got to him. You know, he let what the internet was saying and what people outside were saying affect his decision. And he played right into the game that the Wolverines needed him to play to even have a chance. You know, if you look at that team, if they play their game and they play how they played in the CFP, they blow the Wolverines out the water. But he allowed the outside noise to come in and affect his mood and his judgment of what he should do in situations. And I think he's done a wonderful job this year of just exit quiet in the noise, not paying attention to all of what's going on or what's being said in the media. And I think that's why you've seen him be able to have these dominant performances. You know, to him, it's just about getting better. I'm just trying to get better. This team needs to get better. He hasn't let the compliments and all what the world is saying about they're the greatest things since sliced bread. None of that has changed his approach to the game. And I think he's just so locked in as a coach from the time he lost last year to now that, yeah, I don't think they're going to lose.
I don't either. And from your score prediction, I'm going to take it as you believe that this defense is the big tipping factor of the entire game.
Yeah, I do. The Wolverines they're going to run the ball because that's just what they are. You know, until there is no more Wolverine, they're going to always run the ball. And obviously they've gotten great running back play from Hayes to Marshall to Krasinski, whatever, however you say that dude. Cusdahl.
Yeah.
Cusdahl. He came in and gave him 2,400 yards. So all of those guys, they found a way to run. And that offensive line has always been physical. But I don't know. I think that this defense has been tough. Matt Patricia's been really good at scheming things up. We haven't really had to worry about no running backs being able to do things like that. And I think that these linebackers is going to step up to that challenge and really try to quiet that run game down, forcing Bryce to have to make decisions. And I just don't think he can do it consistently for 4 quarters. I mean, he hasn't really – I know the Maryland game last week, he had a pretty good game, but it hasn't really been a game where they've asked him to go out there for 4 quarters and make him have to beat them with his arm.
When you played in this game real quickly, was yours before Thanksgiving or Thanksgiving weekend? I can't remember.
I don't remember. No, it was after. I think it was after.
Okay.
That 2013 was November 30th, 2013. At approximately about 3 o'clock is where I made that play to, in the game. But I don't have it written down or anything like
Just
that.
wonder if I wonder if these players this week
this guy
have to watch their grazing of the Thanksgiving buffet. How all that works out for a player 2 days before the big game.
Luckily for me, I had the great Georgette Perry, Joshua Perry's mother, always welcomed us over to have a Thanksgiving meal, and she had a lot of the football players over there. She did a wonderful job having a spread, and we always ate well. But, we had practice the day before and then a little walk through the day after. So, you actually watched yourself, but, you was in good shape there. So, that's the linemen, them offensive linemen, them the ones you got to watch. Me being a DB, my Coach Mick probably wanted me to eat a little bit more.
Yeah, the young man's metabolism. All right, brother, that's great of you to jump on with us as always. Have an awesome week. We'll see you soon.
Same to y'all. Go Bucks, go Browns, go Cavs, wrist up.
There he is. Tyvis Powell with us on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Finkes hotline. All right, guys, you start thinking about your health. You start thinking about the new year and resolutions. You've heard about TRT. You have no idea what testosterone can do for you. Maybe it's the answer you've been looking for. And the place to do it, Synergenics and Low T Center. You can even walk in before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com and get a free T test right now. And you'll probably wish you had done it sooner. And I've been saying for a long time, the power is in the numbers. Find out. You're curious. You're a guy. You start needing that nap at 3:30. All of a sudden, you're thinking, where's my energy going? Well, like I said, the TRT test is free. It's not hundreds of dollars. And the testosterone is pure. It's not compounded. Guys are saying they feel full of energy, not like they're still waiting for it to kick in. And you can get it now. Free TRT test. No appointment necessary before 10 a.m. or book ahead at fixmylowt.com. They've got centers very conveniently, Gahanna or Dublin. They'll give you the power to choose if you want to be treated there or if you want to receive it at home. Either way, it starts with that simple, quick, free TRT test at the center. They've got an on-site lab. You'll know in 20 minutes. No waiting for days like other places. So if you've noticed your focus is off, you're not remembering family events, you're slipping up on the job, you're looking for answers, you're coming up short, don't do it anymore. Check it out, Synergenics and Low T Center. A lot of guys are saying it changed their lives for the better. And the best you is perhaps waiting in 2026. Start now. It all starts with a simple free TRT test, fixmylowt.com. We come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. Ryan Day's message to his first-year starting quarterback. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Free Place and Ortiz.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
It's Black Friday all month long with low lease payments on every model, starting at $99 a month for a 2026 Elantra. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. At Great Lakes Hyundai, these savings are so good. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus access fees, first month payment, 10K miles per year, ends 12/1.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
I was in foot pain for 20 years, trying to give it relief, buying all these different insoles. Drugstore insoles, custom insoles. I spent thousands of dollars. I bought all these products and not a single one worked. I really, truly needed to have relief in my feet. And the Good Feet arch supports were what gave me the relief I needed.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure that I got something that my feet felt good in, not somebody else's feet. I love the fact that I can wear these arch supports in all my shoes. I have boots, I have cowboy boots, I have running shoes, I have walking shoes, I have flat shoes, I have heels. It makes me so happy. If you ask my husband, he will crack up because there is no store I would rather go in than a shoe store. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road at Grove City.
Warm up with toasted burritos, bowls, and quesadillas at Hothead Burritos. Crispy golden on the outside, perfectly melted cheese on the inside. Let us toast yours today because everything's better toasted at Hothead Burritos. Get up and get you some.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
El Dorado Scioto Downs is your Caesars Rewards destination. And big news, Scioto Downs has been chosen to host the prestigious Breeders' Crown in 2026, featuring 12 championship races. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem, call 1-800-589-9966. Visit Caesars.com/Scioto Downs for details.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity, I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
Ryan Tay's Buckeyes head to Ann Arbor for a battle with the cheating-ass cheaters.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday morning at 6:30 with the Kick at noon.
Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan Ohio sports destination.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another furnace breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day furnace installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time.
we have to break
I
this
love
up
that.
now. Like literally
I'm literally about to open my mouth.
5 seconds before we come back from break. You know, TLC.
Trying to schedule
speaker
guests tomorrow, or
hey, do you think we should do this right for tomorrow? And
what do
like,
I'm like,
we gotta
give me a minute.
We're coming back from break,
and then tell the people what you said to me in my ear.
The big voice was playing on the rejoin, and I said, "Wait, you mean this isn't a good time to ask you right now?"
About rescheduling people.
I was like,
the itinerary for tomorrow. Let's hammer it out right now.
Well, since we are there, we might as well lay it out for the folks. So tomorrow's show for us will be a 2-hour show. So Coach Day's show will be on from noon to 1 tomorrow.
Yep.
We'll follow with Hounds and all that good stuff and more. Buckeye Michigan Talk starting at 1 o'clock tomorrow. Won't be here Thursday. We will be back in the building on Friday, though.
Reeser might be here.
Oh,
he was angling to do a show on Thursday.
He was.
Yeah, and he said to us, I'm surprised that we're not working Thursday.
Yeah.
And I said, well, it's a national holiday.
He was like,
most people are at home napping and eating and watching football.
Yeah.
And I said, well, if we don't have a show, if you want one, we can get you one. You follow? We can.
I looked at him and I said, I hope you never become the program director.
My goodness.
He was like, on those holidays.
Let's do it.
Some people do think Thanksgiving's a little overrated. Like maybe he's in that camp where it's just like, hey,
there's nothing overrated about not working and eating and watching football.
That wholeheartedly.
Tell it to
agree with
Tyvis. Tyvis doesn't take his vacation days.
He doesn't take his vacation days. He doesn't believe in naps. He doesn't believe in any of that stuff. Even though he did tell us on Saturday when he was in here with the bubble guts and his stomach wasn't feeling too good that he went home and took a nap. So he did finally take a nap, but it was because he was feeling horrible. Like, AR, he was going in and out of the studio on Saturday, using the bathroom because he just couldn't hold anything down.
Did he miss any segments?
He did not.
Was he on the throne on the phone? Like, did you have him connected?
No, he did every single segment.
That would have been great.
But after he had him in there, it felt like he was running to the bathroom. So it sounded like something he had going on in his household right there. But the man's ready to go, and so I said, "Look, T, if you need to go home, go ahead and go home. DeVere, TLC, we can hold this down."
No, but we're pretty sure Adam King did call us live from the Starbucks drive-thru.
He definitely did. He was giving very short answers.
You can tell his focus was off.
His cadence was off. And
Adams?
Yeah, for sure. Like, Adam, he'll shoot the you-know-what with you and have a good time. Wasn't any of that. And then towards the end of the interview there, sounded like he was getting back in his car, and then he was back to revealing everything and talk about everything the way usually Adam King does, and singing.
We revealed this on Monday, how TV people look at radio.
Won't you tell us how you looked at us when you were in TV, sir?
The same way he's probably looking at you guys.
Down. Down is the direction.
No, I don't believe. No, I take that back. I would never have, if I called in or if I had a segment to call in, which I did, I would never. I went to a private room, sat down. I would never be doing it on a Bluetooth in a Starbucks.
You're a pro. That's why. There's levels to this. Adam King is trying to work his way up to get to those Emmys that you got.
Here are the expectations for Julian Sayin from his head coach.
To continue to do what he's done and, lead the team to a victory. That's it at the end of the day. And what does that look like? It depends on how the game plays out. But he's got to do his job and make great decisions and ultimately, be the guy that leads the team to victory. That's the number one goal. The rest of it is gravy. So, he's got to do as good a job as anybody in the building this week. I'll get out in front of it. He's got to communicate, handle the environment and what comes with it. He's shown composure this year, but again, now he's got to be his best.
So this isn't the ultimate Michigan defense he's going up against, but it's a rivalry game on the road and a game that matters a lot. And so I think everyone believes he's special. I think Saturday you get to find out if that is still on that ascent. Like, how special is he? Yeah. Or whether he's a young quarterback who's human, who might feel some pressure that you can't simulate until you're in the game.
If he were a big rah-rah guy with his energy and did a lot of talking, and it was kind of like, how Baker can be and certain quarterbacks that we see in the league that kind of need that emotion to get them going and can get caught up in some of the back and forth with an opposing team, I would be a little concerned. Just based off of his demeanor all year long, I don't think he's going to get too caught up in that. Yeah, when he comes out of the tunnel for the first time and you see what the atmosphere is and you hear all this stuff coming from the stands, like maybe that'll frazzle him a bit early on because it's just new. You got to have a time on task with these type of environments. But I think he will settle in because I just think that's how he's wired. And I don't think he's going to get too caught up in the moment trying to do things outside of what he's asked to do because we just haven't seen that from him this year.
All right, Dave Holmes of Channel 6 asked this question, and it solicited a gem.
Like I say, fun is kicking ass, and that's what we want to do on Saturday. So we're preparing to do that, and that's it. Like, there's nothing funny about this at all. But the fun part is winning. So we'll save the fun for being in the locker room and celebrating after the game. But the preparation is like that's what you love. You love the competitive part of this and everything that comes with it. And our guys came in Sunday, came in here yesterday, got work on their own, and even guys in the building today. I mean, they got a good bounce in their step, and they look forward to this week.
So he was asking him, is it fun being the head coach this week? I do believe that he probably answers that similarly if he didn't win the Natty last year, but I don't know if he says it in that same way, if you understand. If you get my drift. Like, I don't think he won it all last year. Lost to Michigan, but won it all. I think it gave him that ability to lean into that answer.
Maybe so. All I know is that has a T-shirt written all over it. Fun is kicking ass. I could see it now. Buckeye fans having that shirt. Somebody's got to make it. You got connections. I don't. Somebody make the we do this all the time, Our T-shirts that should be made. That's one right there, especially if they win. Yeah, I could see that being a hot little ticket for Buckeye fans if somebody cooks that up.
Here is about managing the emotions this week.
You have to play with emotion, but you can't let it play with you, and you have to learn to use it as nitrous, not as a primary fuel source. And I think that's where, our guys have to continue to just focus on the process of how they prepare for games. And, they're going to have enough emotion when they get into the game. We don't need to incite any more of that during the week. They know how important this is. They know that this is our number one goal every year to win this game. So that'll be our focus. And like you said, you start to get, over emotional, then you can start getting distracted and get yourself out of whack and not do your job. So let's just focus on each individual guy, making sure that at the end of the day, they've graded out a champion and that their positions have graded out a champion.
Matty, when I was a gamer back in the day and I was Need for Speed, I'd hit that nitrous boost when I needed it. Yeah. I relied on it late in the race.
I think that's a first from him. I don't think he's brought that out of his bag.
I don't remember him ever saying nitrous boost or don't let it be your primary fuel source.
He's had that on deck for a while. He couldn't wait to get to that one. And it was appropriate and it's real, right? Especially when we talk about some of these matchup games, some of these one-score games. You hand a team that extra first down because you push a guy late or you push the quarterback late out of bounds. That can be the difference in some of these matchups. So just got to make sure everybody keeps a cool head.
My guy, Matt Finkes, one of the original Silver Bullets from the 90s, will jump on top of the hour and we'll head down memory lane and get his good insight into this team this year. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Drop what you're doing unless you're doing nothing, then keep doing that. It's Rivalry Week.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers.
Go Bucks, beat Michigan.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Hey friends, Beamer here. Thanksgiving, as we know, is right around the corner. And what better way to say thank you than $500 off to a thinner, healthier you? Now through Thanksgiving, Awaken 180 is giving our great listeners $500 off your program. Visit them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hi, I'm Laura De Leon, president of Key Bank in Central Ohio. Here at Key, we believe in providing a helping hand in our community. While helping hands are wonderful, a helping bank is even better. That's a bank committed to solving people's financial needs, but it doesn't stop there. We advocate, we support, we listen, and we volunteer. That's a bank that is always ready to meet you in the moment. Key Bank opens doors.
Key Bank, member FDIC.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
but I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary. Ends 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
Hey, I'm Steffi. You may know me from your social feed. I go big for the holidays, so I'm going to Famous Footwear because the best gifts are giving famous. My friends and family are going to love all these styles from Nike, Adidas, Crocs, New Balance, Skechers, and more. With over 800 stores, you're never far from the perfect gift. So make your list and make it famous. Come in today for buy one pair, get one half off at your local Famous Footwear or famous.com. Some exclusions apply.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
my debit card.
Their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
Matty Ice here. If you're ready for some amazing Black Friday deals, head on over to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, where the savings are rolling all month long. You can lease a brand new 2026 Chevy Equinox front-wheel drive LT for just $309 a month for 36 months. Or if financing is more your style, grab it for only $415 a month for 84 months for qualified buyers. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion. Or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season with a Home for the Holidays raffle. And help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish Kids. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit A Home for the Holidays, Columbus.org to buy your tickets. That's A Home for the Holidays, Columbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Toyota-thon on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through December 1st, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys. Or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $269 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. An app only.
You don't have to wait for Black Friday for good deals at Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Save on remote starters, window tint, and all things car audio. Dash cams, Apple CarPlay, and more. Columbus Car Audio and Accessories Black Friday sale. Going on now. Morse Road, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or columbuscaraudio.com.
Why settle for a cold burrito when you can get toasted at Hothead Burritos? Crispy golden on the outside, perfectly melted cheese on the inside. Create your burrito, quesadilla, or bowl and get it toasted at Hothead Burritos. Get up and get you some.
Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Ohio State continuing their preparations for the game this Saturday at noon up in Ann Arbor. At his weekly press conference earlier, Ryan Day was asked if being the head coach of the Buckeyes this week is fun.
Like I say, fun is kicking ass, and that's what we want to do on Saturday. So we're preparing to do that, and that's it.
Pre-game coverage on the Fan Saturday gets underway at 6:30 in the morning. The undefeated Ohio State basketball team back in action tonight, hosting Mount St. Mary's at 6:30. The Fan warm-up show with Brandon Beam comes your way at 5:30. Then network coverage takes over at 5:45. This one brought to you by Green & Sons, family-owned and operated for over 45 years. Find your next Kubota tractor at Green & Sons, located in Mount Sterling and north of Marysville and Raymond. Breaking sports news as it happens on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, final hour of the program, and we kick it off with one of the best. Go back a long time with this guy. In fact, my very first year covering Ohio State football was the year that this man helped John Cooper get his first victory against that team up north. The year was 1994, and number 92, who was all Big Ten defensive end and one of the original silver bullets of those 90s, and many of them heartbreakers, but he played his butt off. And maybe Ryan Day is right. The fun is in kicking ass, and he did it in 94 and beyond. He is our friend Matt Finkes. Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you guys too, man. How's it going?
Outstanding. All right, let's go back. Let's relive that for a second, because I want to get something confirmed, because I don't know if this truly happened. I know there was a narrative. Was that the year that Coop punched the blackboard?
Yes, that was the year he punched the blackboard in the offensive team meeting at halftime. And I mean, the hole was there, so it was legit. So I didn't actually see the punch because it was in the offensive side. But you could definitely, we heard about it coming out of the tunnel at half, and then you could definitely, when you went back into the locker room after the game, they had the board still sitting there with the hole in it. So I mean, that's totally legit. I mean, guy was fighting for his life at that point, and we didn't want to see him go. I mean, obviously we love Coop, and we were trying our best to keep him around, because the narrative around that that game was very, very doomsday-ish for him.
Oh, yeah. Listen, at 0-5-1 going into that, of course. How much was it, Maddie, was it out of character for Coop to do that? How much do you feel like that was a cool moment to learn that because it wasn't a normal thing for him?
Yeah, I mean, he's not a rah-rah, fire you up, game day speech that's going to make you run through a brick wall. I mean, like Coop was a very, calculated, meticulous guy. I mean, and that wasn't his style. That emotion and that level of emotion was just not him. So, to learn about that, I mean, and to get the guys fired up coming out of that game, and again, like I said, we were playing for him. I mean, all of us were there because he recruited us and wanted us there. The social media wasn't around that day, but there was enough media around that in that day that you knew his job was on the line on that game. I mean, there was no other way to explain it. We lose that game and he's not there anymore. And as guys who were there for their head coach, you wanted to play for him and to see him that invested in it as well when the narrative had been, that he just didn't understand the game. I mean, at that point, you knew he got it.
So, Matt, it's good to hear from you, first of all. And I couldn't wait to lock in with you, man, on this defense this year because obviously you know what it takes to get it done on that side of the ball. So you go from Jim Knowles, you bring in Matt Patricia, and from Texas down, this defense has just been lights out. And now here they are having to take this defense on the road to challenge or go up against a young quarterback in Bryce Underwood. So just talk about Matt Patricia and some of the things that you've been seeing from him as a defensive play caller that have led to the success this year.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to brag, but I tried to tell everybody at the beginning of the season when they hired him, like, he's going to be really good for this team. Like Matt, he learned under these guys who, create a system around the talent that they have. And when you have that talent and then you have coaches on the field in Caleb Downs and Sonny Styles, it is an elite level of thing that he can produce. And the disguise and the blitz packages and where he's bringing pressure from and how he's changing up looks for opposing quarterbacks. I mean, that's all stuff that I was excited to see come because, his philosophy is totally 180 from Jim Knowles. Jim Knowles has a system and you need to fit into it. I think that's why you see the learning curve, whether it's Ohio State, and I mean, you're seeing it at Penn State, that guys have to learn the system and buy into the system. Matt makes a system that caters to the talent that's on the field. And that, I think, is what you've seen and what he's done. And I'll tell you what, the biggest surprise and the biggest thing that I think has led to the success of this defense are those guys inside. The two defensive tackles have been monsters this year, and we didn't know what we were going to get from those guys because they didn't get a ton of playing time last year. You lose two really good guys last year. Those guys have really stopped up the middle, and that's what's going to have to happen in this game. You've got to stop the run. It doesn't matter who's on the other side. You've got to stop the run. And if they can put Michigan in 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, 3rd and long distance with Bryce Underwood, he doesn't want to sit in the pocket and throw. He wants to get out and move his feet. That's going to be a long day for him, but you've got to win on 1st and 2nd down first.
Matt Finkes with us, former All-Big Ten defensive end for Ohio State back in the 90s. How much did you have to manage your emotion in this game? I know it was a long time ago, and it was technically one of those games that was all or nothing, because now it's 12-team playoff. The loser isn't eliminated from everything. But you tell me, was it different for you managing the emotion?
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think that it's that much different for these guys. I mean, this game still means a lot for those guys. I mean, you listen to the way Jeremiah Smith talks about this game. You listen to, I mean, maybe we're heading away from that, and eventually it's not going to be that. But right now it still is. And I think that, this losing streak that they've been on, Michigan cheating for those years that they did. I mean, that's a burr under Ryan Day's. I mean, he is mad about that. Make no mistake about it. That is something that eats at him a lot. And I know that goes down to the team. But yes, you've got to manage the first 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes of this game emotionally. You've got to manage the first 5 minutes when you come out of the locker room. You've got to be able to control your emotions so you're not making stupid penalties. You're not making mental errors. You're not making those mistakes that could put you in a hole. And then you've got to manage and close the last 5 minutes when the game is on the line and the emotions are running high. And this is a do or die moment. And this is all or nothing. And this game means something still to the alumni and to everybody else. So you've got to manage those first 5 minutes and those last 5 minutes emotionally better than you have all year long.
Matt, do you think that Julian Sand is ready to meet this moment? I mean, the execution from a year one quarterback has been impressive to me, but this is now obviously a level up with the atmosphere and everything that's on the line. And so looking at Julian and how he's progressed this year, do you think he's ready for this moment?
I'll tell you what, there's not a whole lot of guys that I'm worried about less than Julian Sand right now. I mean, his composure throughout the season and the way he's conducted himself in the pocket, the way he's handled pressure, I mean, his demeanor, the way he carries himself. I mean, have you seen him rattled at all this year? No, like you just don't. You don't see it. He's that level of quarterback, and that goes back to the way Ryan teaches these guys as well. I mean, it's all about the process. It's all about doing what you need to do and doing your job and making the right reads and believing in the system. But, I mean, I'm not worried about Julian being flustered or this being too big of a moment for him at all. I think he's the right guy for this job. I mean, he is the most, level-headed, cool customer. I mean, does he miss some things here and there? Yeah, but does he let it rattle him? Or does he shake it right back off and come back and make a big throw the next time? I mean, go back to last weekend. He misses a wide open Brandon Innes for a touchdown pass. The series before comes right back, throws a touchdown pass that, and 2 plays later. I mean, he's that guy that when you talk about a quarterback and being composed and sitting in the pocket, he's that guy.
Matt Finkes with us, the original Silver Bullet from the 90s. Let me ask you about the narrative, because everything off of last year's game was that the coaching staff went into it with a timid approach and just win by the surest way, play not to lose, don't make a mistake. However, this year they've been taking what the defense has been giving them. So it would actually be a departure if he went into this game early and just started going for broke just to counter what happened last year. I don't think Ryan Day's that guy this year. I think winning the national championship has given him a certain peace, a certain sense of confidence, and that he doesn't need style points to win the game. He just wants to win it. But your thoughts on the game plan? It's going to be chilly up there. That should favor the defense. Michigan's offense isn't doing a ton, especially in their big games. They didn't do a ton. How aggressive is Ohio State? How aggressive do you want him to be offensively early in the game?
I want them to play their game. I mean, and that's why they lost last year, right? They didn't play their game. I mean, you go out and you play your game, you're going to win. We lost in '96 because we didn't play our game. And I mean, in that, when you talk about emotions, Anthony, that goes for coaches too. I mean, and the coaching staff having emotions and locking up, and you can tell the tension as a player. You're seeing your coaches on the sidelines with that tension and that, that pent up, and they're nervous. That permeates through the team, and I guarantee you that's what happened last year. And you can't go into that this year that way, and I don't think that they will. I think they learned from that. I think that they're going to grow from that, and they're going to go in. I mean, my advice to them was like, it's a 1 versus 18. You go in like you're 18. You don't go in like you're 1. You go in like you're 18, and you play this game like you've got everything to win with this, and play your game. I mean, and I think if Ohio State goes out and plays their football game, they're going to win this game. If they go out and, lock up and tense and try to force the run and, horizontal passing instead of vertical passing game, not utilizing the middle of the field, all those things that we know that Ryan does well and wins football games, then it's going to be, it's going to be a war. But if they go out and do what they do, then just like they did in the national championship run, they're going to be just fine.
I can still vividly remember that sunny day, man, in '94, you coming off the edge, and what a moment. I know that'll stick with you forever in that game for sure, buddy. Be well. Enjoy the week with the fam. Happy Thanksgiving. You got a score prediction you want to lay on us?
Man, I don't predict scores at all. You know better than that. I don't bet on the Buckeyes, and I don't predict scores. But I will say this, if you don't mind, for Buckeye Nation, go in and check out the Behind the O app if you've got some time. You can download it in your app store. We got like 15 athletes. Ryan Brzezinski's our football representative. Some really cool information that you can get, and some behind-the-scenes stuff, not just football and basketball, but across the sports, and it helps these kids out. We got a lot of NIL money going back to these kids just to help them. And again, it's not just the football and basketball team. We're trying to help all the non-revenue sports as well.
Well done, brother. Hope you get to lay some gold pants out there this year. That would be nice.
I'm telling you, man, we got a lot of money built up in this account. We got to start buying these gold pants.
No doubt. All right, be well, brother. Thanks for this.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
That is Matty Finkes, the sack master from the 90s, 3-year starter and all Big Ten defensive end, and helped Coop get that first pivotal win in '94. He was on the Brian Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We come back. Jamar Chase runs his own reverse. We'll tell you all about it next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Our clients deserve for us to care, and they deserve to feel serviced. They have questions, and they deserve answers. We're counselors first because I'm not selling them anything. I'm trying to teach clients how to protect themselves. At Curtis & Associates, we're personal injury attorneys. We've helped and continue to help hundreds and hundreds of clients every year. That's important to us. If you've been injured in an accident and it's not your fault, call now. 614-GOT-HURT. That's 614-GOT-HURT. Curtis & Associates. Attorneys who care.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
You know, most people will agree with this. Life is a lot better without pain and more comfort. Hey, it's Anthony. I used to buy the over-the-counter insoles thinking that just the cushion itself would solve everything. It didn't. So I finally got serious about support. I went to the Good Feet store where I was personally fitted for arch supports. I started feeling relief, more stability, and stuff stopped aching. My lower back felt better. I don't care whether you're an athlete or you're retired. Get greater comfort and confidence from personally fit arch supports from the Good Feet store. That's because their arch supports are designed to align your body from the feet up, and they can help provide relief from pain and discomfort like it has for me. They have an expert staff trained to understand your specific needs, and they recommend the best solutions. It's simple. Just stop by the Good Feet store at one of their convenient locations on Polaris Parkway or Stringtown Road in Grove City, or, of course, learn more, a lot more, at goodfeet.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
But I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary. Ends 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
El Dorado Scioto Downs is your Caesars Rewards destination. And big news, Scioto Downs has been chosen to host the prestigious Breeders' Crown in 2026, featuring 12 championship races. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966. Visit Caesars.com/Scioto Downs for details.
Busy schedule? This is Ryan Krieger, and Krieger Ford has you covered. Krieger Ford offers pickup and delivery, or our mobile service van will come right to you. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today only at KriegerFord.com.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Hey, football fans, it's November in Ohio, and you know what that means. It's time to face that state up north in a battle to claim forgotten funds. Join us in the statewide challenge and visit com.ohio.gov/radio to help support Ohio's takedown of Michigan. The state with the most searches wins. Who knows? Unclaimed funds could help you buy a seat to the big game next year. Claim your money today at com.ohio.gov/radio.
The Jackets are back in Nationwide for a battle with the Maple Leafs. Live fan coverage starts Wednesday night at 6:30.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Heating and Cooling.
Proud to be your flagship home of the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're tracking the rain to continue here through most of your Tuesday with high temperatures into the upper 50s this afternoon. Rain showers may linger into early tonight with rainfall amounts totaling over 1/4 of an inch here for several locations. Now, temperatures will stay into the 50s here for tonight into early Wednesday morning, but a cold front is on the way, and that's going to knock down our temperatures to the 30s here by the evening. And that's a look at your 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Aaron White here on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Ice, little Bet365 time.
Let's do it, baby. Let's do it, because at Bet365 right now, if you're a new customer, they got an awesome deal waiting just for you where you can bet $5, ladies and gentlemen, and you are going to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So go ahead, have a good time. Turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on totals, spreads, money lines, or player props. And don't miss out on these daily boost and super boost as well. Got some cool things lined up for you over at Bet365.
Be a nitrous boost from Ryan Day. All right, so we get Thanksgiving to think about.
Turkey Day, baby.
You got 3 games.
Yeah, we do.
You got the Packers at the Lions. Lions favored right now by 2.5. Dallas catching 3 at home against the Chiefs in the afternoon game. And then the nightcap, Bengals against your Ravens. Bengals getting 7. I feel like I don't really know what the deal is with the Chiefs right now. They won a big game. It feels like that Dallas is riding a high, and now they're paying a tax for beating Philly, only getting 3 at home against the Chiefs. Maybe the game within the game is where to go. You and I have talked about a little bit about the rushing attack from the Chiefs. Yeah. Pacheco comes back. I may not want to mess with that, but I feel like they're starting to work Xavier Worthy back in a little bit. Just a little bit. And I feel like against the Dallas defense, that would be one where he could maybe have a, hey, I'm still around kind of a guy.
Remember me?
Thanksgiving, yeah. I feel like that could be not like a Randy Moss game, but I'm talking about like something. His over-under on catches is 3.5. Mm-hmm. His over-under on receiving yards is 37.5.
So the last few weeks, AR targets for the last 3 games, 7, 5, and 8.
Coming back a little bit.
The yardage in those games, 23, 25. Last week was 59.
Yeah.
So, you're coming out of an overtime game, 8 targets, 59 yards. Not bad. This was always the spooky part for when Rashee Rice came back, is that Xavier kind of turns into a little bit of that gadget guy to use his speed. And so the targets weren't going to be consistent. But I think this game, what's the over-under?
Kind of lends like 51 or something.
I like that.
It kind of lends to a little bit of a worthy over.
Okay.
52.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So there's some meat on the bone there for sure.
All right, give me Worthy over 37.5. It's a nice mental hedge anyway because I have Rice.
Yeah.
So, and I assume he's going to play, but you never know. It's a short week.
For sure. The over-under for the Bengals-Ravens game is kind of jumping out to me. That's at 51.5 right now. So Joey B is back. You'll have Lamar and Joey B out there on the same field, which is always entertaining, especially after the 2 games we got from these teams.
Maybe Burrow's healthier than Lamar.
He may. You know what? At this point, you're probably right. Lamar's got like 3 different injuries going on. But I do like the over-under, and I like the bet boost that stare me in the face that says dessert is served. And so I like Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, Zay Flowers, and Jamar Chase to all score a touchdown at plus 1,000 at Bet365. So I'm gonna rock with that right now. Jamar, Zay Flowers, Chase Brown, and the King Derrick Henry to all score a touchdown at plus 1,000. I'll get in on that right now. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only, must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, so Jamar Chase has seen the light, took the suspension, lost the appeal, and dropped an apology after the suspension. So he's off the I didn't spit on anybody.
Which was crazy.
Right.
That was even a thought after we see you in 4K, Jamar Chase. We see you in 4K, brother.
Yeah, it's this apology it's fine. It's the way to go. It reads like it was written by his representatives, and then he signed off.
Sorry, play it again, TLC.
I ain't spit on nobody.
Come on, man. These guys.
You want to read this whole thing or just pick out maybe some of the good parts?
I would love
it's
to
a
know.
one-pager.
I would love to know, AR, in that one-pager whether the name Jalen Ramsey pops up.
The answer is no.
Okay.
He apologized to his team, the fans, the Bengals, the Steelers, the NFL, the popcorn seller, the beer guy, the ticket take. He apologized to everybody. The guy spat upon, however you want to look at it. He did say what I did was wrong. Well, where was that? You know why he didn't say it then? Because he was still appealing, because he was wanting to save his money, and he wanted to play. So he went with the not guilty. Oh, well, actually, I mean, there's a difference between not guilty and innocent.
Yes.
Not guilty and didn't do it. Like you said, there was
Rocky in that didn't do it right there.
It's a little more Sipowicz. As you know, Detective Sipowicz over here.
Oh,
what I did was wrong. The circumstances don't matter. My passion for the game is no excuse. There's zero place in our sport or in life for that level of disrespect. So he apologizes to everyone within the Steelers organization. So I assume that everyone in the organization includes Ramsey. I would have added a line there. I would have said to my agent, hey, right after Pittsburgh Steelers organization, comma, and specifically to Jalen Ramsey. That's what I would have done.
Yeah.
And that would have been fine. But it's signed and sealed. I promise to keep learning, and you know the whole drill.
For sure. And so, yeah, maybe things are that personal, between he and Jalen Ramsey. Maybe there's that much smoke between the two to where
couldn't go all in on it.
He won't bend the knee to Jalen Ramsey. You would think that's probably the appropriate thing to do when you spit on another human, but
I spit on nobody.
Athletes.
Yeah, Matty. Why are you saying he did?
It's just so funny to me that you knew you did something.
He should have said.
You still do this.
He should have said.
Nobody.
He should have said.
We know the Steelers going to try to come in and raw dog us.
He shouldn't have said that again. But what he should have said was, if I spit, I didn't intentionally try to hit him. And like he said in one of those ones that I read that I don't know if I have this confirmed or not, he's like, if I would have spit on him, I would have spit in his face.
I ain't spit on nobody.
It's awesome.
But he's back now.
Oh, he's back.
He's back now.
Maybe we should bet on him.
We probably should bet on him.
What did we miss that?
I looked at a touchdown for him, AR. It's like minus 140 or minus 120
Joey
or something.
back. Let's check his receiving yards.
They get dangerous.
90.5. What do you think you got against your defense?
The defense is
90.5, no Higgins.
Yeah, Ravens defense they've been turning some opposing offenses water off here, but maybe a little bit too much dip on the chip when you're dealing with this Jamar Chase Joey B duo that has just lit us up. And so until I see them slow them down, I'm not going to have any confidence. So I like the over for that number.
That's another great segue. Speaking of that French dip, Firehouse Subs dropped off a load of great stuff today for us. I had that Cajun chicken sub that he had his eye on, and I heard him in the corner going, I always order that. And I'm like,
I did say that.
There was only one, and then he wound up getting the French dip, so he's good.
Yeah, he went back to the French dip. I think you've had two of those things, haven't you, today, TLC?
Well, they're chopped up in pieces, so I didn't have two full French dip sandwiches.
Little sandwich sampler.
But thank you.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Make sure I got some of the French dip, because it's limited time only.
Yeah, that's right.
And so I got to get in while I can.
There it is.
I was just about to run out and get something, and then it came, wait, don't go anywhere.
No, it was
big
a
drop.
Whole
so nice. We thank them.
From Firehouse Subs, the subs, the cookies, the chips, the drinks. I mean, they really laid out a nice little spread for the gang here.
I deafened Rothman earlier before the show.
My goodness, when he found out they were doing a food drop, I was right in front of him. We can't even repeat it because it was the loudest I've ever heard a human being yell.
Yes. And there was also a Tiger Woods fist bump that followed, too. Yeah, Tiger Woods fist bump followed.
There was a little bit of a, you like that?
Because
you like that.
The excitement was rooted in a motto that I live by. If it's free, it's me. That's what TLC was excited about.
Well, I told
free lunch.
I was genuinely planning on going to Firehouse after the show because I have time to kill before the Ohio State basketball game starts, and so I didn't want to go very far, and there's one on Fifth Ave. And so I didn't have to go to Firehouse because Firehouse came to me.
As our boy Snagglepuss says at the end, if you would have dropped that and then just said, "What's up, Trevor?"
Yeah.
Like if you would have dropped a "What's up, Trevor," that would have been good.
Yes. What's up, Trevor?
Next. All right, those are your pre-snappers for today. 2 minutes. Austin Ward jumps on the air, and we get the definitive approach here on a Tuesday on what's happening with the Buckeyes' health. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
That's my message to the fans. What's up, Trevor? How you doing?
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Ooh, winter's coming. And when the wind starts to blow, don't come inside to the cold. Open the door to peace of mind with your Waterworks and Header Precision Furnace Tune-Up and Energy Savings Plan. Your furnace is the heart of your home, and Waterworks and Header will have yours running at peak performance throughout the winter. Plus, you'll save on those energy bills too. Go to waterworks.com and schedule your furnace tune-up online. Waterworks and Header, heating, cooling, and plumbing, together to serve you better.
This sports report is brought to you by Bet365. When it comes to sportsbooks, Bet365 has it all. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be located in Ohio.
I'm back to doing what I love and more. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store on Polaris Parkway near the Polaris Mall or on Stringtown Road in Grove City. Walk-ins are always welcome.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, is it true?
What's that?
Tire Discounters is offering up to $200 off sets of Goodyear tires?
Absolutely.
Plus free alignment and a full synthetic oil change?
You got it.
I'm not one to exaggerate, but that may be the best deal in the history of the world.
But free would be better.
Mike, don't toy with me.
Through the holidays, every day we're open, someone will get their money back on 4 tires.
But I...
Just breathe, Phantom. Breathe.
No purchase necessary. Ends 12/31/25. Visit website for details.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let's do a little day tripping.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Plumbing. Call us today at 1-800-FURNACE for all your plumbing and drain service needs. Yes, 1-800-FURNACE works for plumbing, too.
The Week with the guy, Austin Ward, Ohio State football beat reporter, Letterman Rowan here at The Fan. He's on the Bryan Heating and Cooling Systems Finkes hotline. My man? All right. It's great to have you. That's one thing, and it's this week, and we all love it. We haven't loved it the last handful of years for a lot of different reasons. And I felt like, and they tried, the collective media tried today at that presser to find out whether Ryan Day feels like a different guy. Because the narrative coming out of last year was that he coached timid and that he didn't lean into their strengths and wanted to win by the surest way. And the team that doesn't make the mistakes wins the game. And the team that has the leading rusher wins the game. He's been all opposite of that this year, right? He doesn't care about style points. He wants to win the game. He takes what the defense is giving him. Is he that guy on Saturday, or does he try to counter last year? It doesn't feel like it because he was pushing the past into the past. I think he's got a new bravado about him. I think winning the Natty certainly gives him a lot of peace and comfort knowing that he can go into this game as on paper the better team and win it the way he wants to win it. But you tell me, is he going to coach it more aggressively early, or is this a very typical situational coaching like it usually is for him?
Well, if we're going to base that, Anthony, solely on Tuesday, this was a very different Ryan Day press conference pre the game than any of the previous ones I've covered with him.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot more confidence. There was, and I was thinking about this as I left, and it was like, if we've had the conversation after the game from the last few years that Ryan Day wanted to prove that he was tough, that he wasn't born on third base, that he could prove these things to Jim Harbaugh, whatever, the narrative that we've all talked about and beaten to the ground. I think you could also say that, like on Tuesdays, that he was treating it ultra serious and he didn't want to be what I consider himself, like outside of his personality. You actually heard some language today that Ryan Day would not normally use in a press conference. So nothing that we couldn't say on the air, but certainly not something that he would normally say in a press conference. And, he was still giving his insightful in-depth answers, which I think we all appreciate from him on a weekly basis, and definitely when we're talking about it on day tripping. But some of the stuff that would happen on Saturday of the games the last few years, I think was foreshadowed by the way he managed the week and the build-up to it. And you could tell that, some of the nerves or, some of the mindset were overwhelming him and really, covering up and depressing his normal personality and approach to winning games. Yes, on Saturday, whatever it takes to win the game is what he will do. But I certainly felt, and I know I'm not alone with that, I think you guys probably sensed it too, a different level of confidence being conveyed from him at the podium on a Tuesday. Does that guarantee anything on Saturday? No, but the approach from the last few years wasn't working either.
So we used to play a game on the show called Either, Neither, or Both, and I want to play this game with you when it comes to Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith. A-Dub, either, neither, or both will be playing on Saturday up in Ann Arbor.
Oh, Matty, you're trying to get me in trouble again. If I have to pick one, I am starting to believe that it is both. Of those three options, I would say that the one I am absolutely most confident in is Jeremiah Smith playing on Saturday. I still think that they're going to be out on the practice field. They were getting ready actually pretty early as I was leaving the Woody not too long ago for practice. The Bloody Tuesday is going to be here. One thing that Ryan Day said that has been different from the previous couple weeks, Matty, is that there will be both physical and mental reps for both Carnell and Jeremiah today and tomorrow and Thursday. My understanding is that Carnell was doing some limited work at practice last week as well. So this still is not a notion of Carnell shutting it down, not a season-ending injury. Is he absolutely going to be ready by Saturday at noon? I don't know the answer, and I don't know that the training staff has given a definitive thumbs up or thumbs down on that at this point. But with Jeremiah's situation, I believe fully that he is going to be in uniform and close to full speed. I think Saturday was more of a precautionary situation than a re-aggravation. I told you guys that last Tuesday. I still thought that he might dress and give it a go, similar to the way that he did against UCLA. But I think that we are now in a spot where the clues and the conversation that are both happening, both privately and publicly with Ohio State, are trending towards both.
In your mind, how much better is Ohio State than Michigan this year? And what you've seen to this point?
Yeah, I think some of it will depend, Anthony, on if we get to watch the best version of Bryce Underwood or the worst version. I think he's actually the inflection point for this game, and I think Ohio State is decidedly more talented. I thought the spread might open or climb higher than 10.5, to be honest. I don't know if that's staying down at a level because of what's happened for the last 4 years, if it is a rivalry game spread, if it is the fact that the game is in the big house, if there's concern about the weather. I don't know. You and I try and figure that stuff out every week with every game. But with this, the way that this Ohio State defense is playing, and with so much weight being on the shoulders of a true freshman in Bryce Underwood, who will have never seen anything like what Matt Patricia can cook up with Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, that defensive front, the way the Rushmen are playing right now. If they're going to rely on the RPO game, I think Matt Patricia is welcoming that opportunity and to throw different looks and confuse him and win that game. But at Bryce Underwood, when he's played at his best, we saw this actually in that Northwestern game a couple of weeks ago. It was one of the most recent examples of a Wolverines game where I got to watch it extensively and start to finish. You could see the opportunities where he might have success and some nice deep balls and some success in the seam, running the football a little bit, extending plays outside the pocket. I was like, oh, okay, he's a better version of what you saw against Oklahoma earlier in the year. And then you saw the second half turnovers, the second that some of the pressure got home from Northwestern. He got hit or he saw a look that he didn't like. And Michigan wound up turning the football over 5 times in that game. Now they won, and you can give them a lot of credit for battling through that adversity. But if this thing hinges on Bryce Underwood against Ohio State's defense the way that I think it will, that's why the scales are tipped so decidedly in favor of the Buckeyes for me.
Yeah, no doubt. I hear you on that. Austin, one thing that was a reminder for me, just going back to last year's game, is that you better bring all three phases to the game. And last year, the special teams, especially the field goal kicking, didn't go in their favor. And so when you look at special teams this year, how are you feeling about that and your confidence that if called upon, that can be something that is a positive box that they can check this year?
I would say better than a month ago, Maddie. Yeah. And there's still moments like where you want to pull your hair out watching Ohio State on special teams, even within the same game. Last week, you have the best punt execution of the year. You down one at the one, and you have another punt that you don't field that costs you, 20, 30 yards of field position. You botch a kickoff return that you want to do a throwback. You want to put something fancy in there. That turns into a near turnover. That's a week after you return a kickoff for a touchdown for the first time in 15 years. So it is not at the level where it is the best special teams in the country. It is not to the level that we expect Ohio State to play at, but it is better. And so a lot of this comes down to risk management and risk aversion on special teams. And as I look at it for this game in particular, Ohio State is improving and Michigan is regressing, where they've had a clear and decisive edge really in the last few years on special teams and made the most of that in some of these games. I think it's about a wash right now. I know that Jaden Fielding, if he makes those field goals a year ago, we have a very different conversation about what happened in the horseshoe and the rivalry streak. The losing streak would already be over for Ohio State. But I think they're in a position where they can be more confident. I don't think that they have to be or probably will not be supremely confident that they can absolutely win the game on the strength of their kicking game, but it is not something that I think gives them reason to lose sleep over the next 4 nights, which is a sign of progress all on its own.
Well done, my man. Always a fun conversation. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you very soon. Should be great.
All right. Appreciate you guys. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too. Austin Ward, our friend from Letterman Row on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Finkes hotline. Okay. He's right. He's with me on the spread. I thought it would be higher. In fact, I thought if it was going to go one direction, it would go the other way, not come down. Mm-hmm. And I think it opened at 12.5, or we saw the look-ahead line at 12.5. And the Rutgers game was nothing. I don't think the Rutgers game for Ohio State or the Maryland game for Michigan did anything to the spread. Mm-hmm. I really don't. It was one of those that they were obligatory games, obligatory wins. They both got them. Yeah. Ohio State approached it strategically different. Doesn't mean anyone was happy with the lack of a passing game. And I think that maybe the other factor that we don't know that might be playing into a little bit of the spread is perhaps the weather, with it being cold. You might not be one of those days where you're throwing it all over the place. And usually, defenses maybe controlling the game a little more, which keeps it within striking distance in a spread. But if Ohio State truly does have the best defense in the country, then I would think the weather actually favors them. I think some people are leaning into, the weather always, when it's cold or miserable, always would favor Michigan because they have a lesser offense. So teams that have a lesser offense don't want a beautiful day for Ohio State to throw it all over the place. Mm-hmm. So I get that part too, but these are the things we talk about. These are the things we don't know, and these are the things that may not even matter when it comes to Saturday. But we know that Ohio State lost to a Michigan team that couldn't complete a damn forward pass last year.
Correct.
And so that's what made it so frustrating. Yep. And obviously they can complete a forward pass this year. Mm-hmm. How many and to which team, we'll see. But this is why you play it.
To your point about last year's passing attack for Michigan, throughout the entire season, they averaged 5.4 yards per attempt. There was just nothing there. And so all the other intangibles came into play. Special teams, you hurt yourself with interception and all those things. Similar feeling. If Ohio State stays out of their own way and gets a clean game from Julian, they should be all right.
All right, we come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the highest-rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Dormar, your climate hero. When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Life sometimes is about being in the right place at the right time. For example, maybe you're a huge Buckeye fan. You want to go to a Buckeye game. You want to get tickets, but they're tough to get. Maybe you also need new windows for your house. Maybe you sit next to them and you feel that cold, drafty air coming in. You say, oh, if only there was a way I could address both of these concerns at the same time. Well, good news. With Window Nation's end-of-year sale this November, you could save big on windows that fix that draftiness issue. You'll save 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. But you're saying, T-Bone, I also said I wanted to go to a Buckeye game. Well, good news. Window Nation is a proud partner of Ohio State Athletics. And right now, when you upgrade your home with Window Nation windows, you could get 2 tickets to an upcoming Ohio State game. See? Right place, right time. WindowNation.com is where you go to get started today. 50% off all window styles plus 0% financing for 5 years this month from Window Nation. Schedule your free estimate today. WindowNation.com.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY. And when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS.
Donate your car today. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
Diamond Sellers bring the world's finest jewelry to you at our annual holiday gala December 4th through December 6th. Celebrate the season of sparkle with up to 25% off for 1 weekend only at our Sawmill Road and Easton locations. Visit diamondseller.com/gala to learn more.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my goodness, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew. Dormar, you're kind of hero.
Warm up with toasted burritos, bowls, and quesadillas at Hothead Burritos. Crispy golden on the outside, perfectly melted cheese on the inside. Let us toast yours today because everything's better toasted at Hothead Burritos. Get up and get you some.
It's Happy Honda Days and Black Friday savings together at Germain Honda of Dublin. Strike now because through December 1st, get 0% APR up to 60 months on new Hondas. And you're even going to get 90 days until your first payment on both new and used vehicles. Rich has hundreds of vehicles in stock. The selection has never been better. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road just south of 270. In-stock units only, not valid on prior sales. With approved credit, must qualify through primary lender. See dealer for details.
Skyline's Mac and Cheese 3-Way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a Mac and Cheese 3-Way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
It's a Turkey Day triple header on the Fan. The Packers and Lions kick things off at 1, followed by the Chiefs and Cowboys at 4:30, and the Bengals and Ravens in the nightcap.
Sponsored by Roosters.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Ohio Heating and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Anthony Wood's got Jack Nicklaus to quote the movie Caddyshack, so he's got that going for him.
The last time I saw a mouth like that, I had a hook.
Which is nice. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Let's go while we're young.
All right, quickly, Black Friday savings all month. Germain Honda of Dublin. Don't wait for the big day. The savings are happening right now. Get behind the wheel of a 2026 Honda Passport RTL all-wheel drive. 3.99% APR up to 36 months. You can get into a stylish 25 Honda Accord LX. The incredible 2.99% APR for up to 36 months. My friends over at Germain Honda of Dublin. They're on Sawmill Road, just south of 270. Great dealership. Really good vehicles. I've had many friends go over there and have great success finding the ride they need at the price they want. So Black Friday savings all month. Germain Honda of Dublin, also at germainhondaofdublin.com.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Right now, get 50% off all window styles from Window Nation at windownation.com.
All right, let's take us home. Let's have a little bit of fun here, because the three of us were all getting into like some of these like NFL leaders, the league leaders right now, in the pre-show.
Yeah,
because I threw you guys the pop quiz of who is leading the NFL in receptions right here, right now, and the answer would be the guy who we debated yesterday for possibly the greatest white NFL player who is not a quarterback, Christian McCaffrey. He's at 81 receptions. Text yesterday. It's the Watt brothers and Munoz isn't officially black. And
well,
first of all, just because you're not black doesn't mean you're white. Okay, so we don't get Munoz, we don't get Tony Gonzalez.
Very good point.
You guys are unreal.
I like J.J. Watt in this too. I mean, was he 3 or 4 depoys? Maybe 4. I know for
3,
a fact
I think.
It was 3. And so he absolutely has a seat at that table. But CMC, just the numbers are going to be so eye-popping. And just watching the game last night, I feel like every play he gets the ball. Like, I know it wasn't every play, but he is just a constant
he got
force.
it 9 times on the first drive.
Unbelievable, man.
Magnificent.
He's a machine.
And somehow still healthy, because he's someone who at various points in his career has caught the injury bug. But so far, so good for him. But I wanted to throw you guys another one, just to have some fun. One quarterback stat that I love is yards per attempt.
Yep.
Can you name me anybody in the top 5 in the NFL right now in yards per attempt? Because you can't fake that stat. That's a pretty good indicator of who's playing some really good football.
This isn't guys that just connect deep or throw it deep or...
No, I mean, obviously
because
that
I'd like to lean into that.
This is good efficiency because, completion
yards per attempt.
Yards per... My mind kind of goes to AR, maybe a receiver having a monster year.
I'm talking, time out. Quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying.
No. I know where he's going because he's leaning Darnold because of JSN.
Okay.
And I would lean that way too. Is that who you're leaning with?
Well, the first guy I was thinking about was Dak because of the year Pickens is having. But I like what you brought to the table because JSN, big play after big play.
And Darnold throws deep.
So, yeah, let's go with Sam Darnold. I'm here for that.
Sam Darnold.
In the top. You said top 10?
Top 5.
Oh.
Sam Darnold, leader in the clubhouse.
Yeah. Makes sense.
That's got to hurt.
I mean, all right, so we got to get 4 more.
Uh-huh.
Does it hurt, AR? Since he said that's got to hurt, seeing Sam Darnold play this way?
Oh, I thought he meant that's got to hurt because we got it right. I thought that's what he meant. That hurt him.
No, I say
I'm asking if it hurts you.
Yeah. Seeing where JJ's at and where Darnold is at.
Yeah.
I'll also tell you, JJ McCarthy,
it does.
Second to last.
Not going to lie.
I got one for him, AR.
Carson Wentz, though, above average.
I got one for him,
We
AR.
killed him.
Does it hurt? Does it hurt you to see what George Pickens
Look, that's the next Tell the Truth question. We'll get to that when we get to it. Thank you.
I'm reading his energy
I don't know.
there.
I mean, I've got to go with my guy, Josh Allen. He wings it around, right?
Josh Allen's third.
Yeah, he's got to be in there.
What about Indiana Jones?
Yeah, I'd have to put him in.
Is he in this mix?
He's at 5th.
Okay.
So we got 1, 3, and 5. I need you to give me 2 and 4.
3 of the 5. Hey, who's another quarterback having a really, really good year?
Drake May.
Yeah.
Drake May's at number 2.
Yeah. Where my mind was that.
Yeah.
We need one more.
You haven't used any strikes in your 4 for 4 so far.
4 for 4. One more.
I will tell you, I know who your next guest is going to be, and it's going to be wrong.
He knows who our next guest is going to be.
O's the mentalist
and it's going to be wrong.
O's Jr. in the building.
How would you know who? Oh, I know who he thinks we're going to guess. He thinks we're going to guess Stafford. I'm looking at him. I think that because Stafford would be the logical for people yelling at the radio. Like, you got to go with the MVP. He's a quarterback.
And Devontae.
I'm just saying. He tricked us.
Is that
who you thought we were going to guess and is wrong?
I am not answering until you submit
This is amazing because we could re-O's right here. We just out-O'd him. I think what he's thinking is that we were going to guess Stafford, and if we're right, then that means it's wrong, and that makes us right.
It's not Stafford. I don't think it's
so.
Stafford.
We weren't gonna guess him, but we think you thought we were gonna.
Well, I don't know who you were gonna guess yet, and I'm not revealing any information.
I thought we were just handling the first part, which is who you thought we were gonna guess. We're saying that we thought. We think you thought we were going to guess Stafford.
But you haven't even said who you would have guessed if I didn't even say that information.
Well, you helped us with that hint.
I haven't. You don't know if
we might have gone Stafford, and now we're not going to go Stafford.
And you already said Dak's not in this, right?
No.
I did not say that, but I can say that if you want.
Dak's not in the
He's
five,
number 11.
5. Really? Okay.
It's probably Stafford or your guy. That's where kind of in my mind where I'm going. It's either Lamar or Stafford. And I think I wasn't going to really go all in on Lamar.
I'll say this. One of those answers is correct.
It's Lamar, then.
It's got to be
it's Lamar.
Lamar, because the MVP of this league right now is Stafford. And that's who he logically thought we were going to guess. And he hinted that it was going to be wrong.
It's El Freaky.
Did we just owes you?
Sam Darnold, Drake May, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Daniel Jones. I thought you were going to guess Matthew Stafford.
We cooked right there.
And not only that, we out-owed him.
We did.
It was a great hint,
We cooked right there.
That was a great hint.
Thank you.
We got like less than a minute. How are you feeling about the Pickens thing as a Steelers fan?
Well, my tell the truth for you guys is George Pickens going to be dialed in for the rest of his career.
Probably not. After he gets his contract, the over-under is 6 games.
He may get an AR special. He may get an AR special. Little franchise tag smoke coming out of Dallas for him. That'll be interesting.
Just keep franchise tagging him every year?
Well, probably not every year.
No.
Maybe you do it for one and then you pay him after that. Hey, before we go, if you missed anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up, folks. Wherever you get your podcast, all you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice, everything we do from noon to 3. We'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Bet365 is the sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Common Man and Timmy coming up next. CB filling in for Panama Ted, and they're going to hop in the hot tub time machine and play some old school, really good Ohio State football clips from the past. So you don't want to miss that.
We thank Tyvis. We thank our guy Matt Finkes and Austin Ward. Tomorrow, Shefty and Sevo for Hockey and Hounds. And we start at 1 o'clock after the coaches show. Thanks for listening. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
It's rivalry week, and dare I say the most rivalist one ever. Me Talk Pretty.
Sponsored by your